Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this afternoon. Celtic take on Newcastle United at Celtic Park, but Celtic jumped the gun this morning and Celtic did announce a brand new player, the one that we've all been waiting for with bated breath. Prolific, amazing goal scoring striker. Shin Yamada has joined Celtic on a 4-year deal. Now, Brendan Rodgers has said that Yamada is he is a player that's been brought in by the club, not necessarily him, which I think is strange. But then you can understand because your voice. Dodgy echo sound. Wait a minute, what is going on? Audio on. Where's your phone? Mic input, audio output. Why is it? Should be fine now. Yeah, it's fine. Doctor talking over. Yeah, it's fine now. There was 2 mics switched on. Been mucking about with settings beforehand, but it should be all fine now. Doctor talking over. There we go. It is. Taking over. Doctor's in the house. Yeah, that's better now. Perfect. Anyway, Yamada. Yeah, he's been brought into the club. Brendan Rodgers isn't over the moon about it. Says he's a player, although he's excited to have him on. He's a club signing. He's not a Brendan Rodgers signing. He's only on a 4-year deal. When Brendan Rodgers gets the player he wants, they're on 5-year deals. So there is a little bit of a difference when it comes to players that are brought on speculative by the club. But anyway, it is all about Newcastle this afternoon. It is all about what do we do when Cameron Carter-Vickers and KT get injured? Let's not even talk about the team, because as it stands just now, there is another bit of Celtic news kicking about today. I don't know if you've caught up with this one. Marco Tilio is getting his transfer exit out of Celtic, and it's to a club that Celtic know well. He's came back obviously from Australia after his loan in Australia, back in the A-League over the last 2 seasons, but he is he's gone out to he's wanted by the club that we got Nico Kuhn from, which isn't a bad bit of business. I wonder if it'll be on loan or if Celtic will sell the player. Tilly has just made 2 appearances since he arrived at Celtic in 2023. But Rapid Vienna are keen on the striker, so it'll be interesting to see if Rapid Vienna take him on loan or take him full time. If he goes out full time permanently, we are in a situation when it comes to we are struggling for front players, because Yang's wanted by Norwich, Marco Tilio wants out, Blues Palma wants out. That leaves us in the front positions with Adamida, Callum Osmond, Johnny Kenny and Dyson Maida. Never mind talking about if Cameron Carter-Vickers gets injured or Kieran Tierney gets injured. We are short. I mean, I still think we need 5 or 6 first team players to come into Celtic before the end of the window. And the closer that we get to the start of the season, it will get the rumour mongers going just absolutely berserk. I mean, Quan's not going to be in the midfield. We still need midfielder players in. The way it's going with Celtic just now, we need about 7 or 8 players just to make the squad better. Because the time that you lose all these players, you're just getting enough players in to increase the squad size. Brendan won't allow wingers to go unless he's got players ready to be brought in. if you've got unhappy players at the club, do you know, I mean, I said that Marco Tilio would need to try and force his way back into the team, but that was before we lost Nico Kuhn. We're now a winger down. You know, losing more wingers is Tilio's not a big loss. Yeah, I get that, but squad size. Rodgers shouldn't shun Yamada. He shouldn't. I don't think he'll shun him because he's the only striker that we've got at the moment that's came in. That we've spent any money on. Spending 1.5 million on a striker is not prolific, and it falls into the narrative that Chris Sutton was talking about in his article this morning. And do you know, people could say, "Oh, it's Chris Sutton just talking shite," but at the end of the day, he's pretty spot on with it. The fact that a 4-year deal for the player looks good on paper, but let's just hope he hits the ground running. And let's hope that he's even if he's half as good as Kyogo, you know, and starts putting the ball in the back of the net. But Brendan Rodgers still wants a tried and tested striker that can do it for us in Europe. You know, he wants wingers. He wants players in. You know, it's anyway. I wonder what players will make the team today, because Cameron Carter-Vickers will not be ready, even though Cameron Carter-Vickers was spotted back in training yesterday with the first team squad. Alistair Johnston, I don't think Alistair Johnston returns until Monday, and Louis Palmer, I think he makes a fleeting visit to Celtic. I don't even think he comes back to Celtic Park. I think he just goes straight over to Europe now. Maybe comes back to Scotland to pack up his apartment. That's maybe it. He's maybe back in Scotland. He's maybe doing a bit of injustice after having his holiday. He's done nothing to say on social media that he's back in Scotland. So, I mean, he's certainly not been back in training. So there has been some kind of fallout between him and Brendan Rodgers, if you ask me. Going into the season with Yang. I don't even, no negativity today. It is all about hopefully the boys have a fantastic performance. Kyogo, Jota, Kuhn, that's 60 to 70 goals missing and 50 assists. It is, Stephen. And no matter, Celtic transfer window feels like a rocky relationship. Paul Baird said the board are getting ready for Brendan Rodgers going. Paul, as we get closer to the start of the season and as we get closer to my deadline for Brendan Rodgers signing a new contract is October, and if he's not signed a new contract by October, Brendan Rodgers will be leaving the club next season. You'll probably be Casper, Ralston, Trusty, KT, Callum, Rio, Engels, Maida, Tilio. I don't think Tilio will start today because Tilio's on his way out the door, Lanky. He will not stick around at Celtic to be. He will. I think he's made it clear to Celtic that he wants to play football and he's not prepared to come back and sit on the bench. And when you've got players like that in the club, at the club, Brendan would have had conversations with them when they were in Portugal. You know, when there's no prying eyes in newspapers and there's no reporters kicking about that can pick up stories. And I think that it's going to be an interesting one for Brendan Rodgers this week before we fly out to Italy. Today's a massive game to see how far and ready we are for the Champions League. But you can butter it up all the way you want. You can butter it up any way you want, should I say. But we are not further forward than we were last season. Thank you. The hand of God has worked her magic. It looks like we're doing a watch along today, so it's going to be, for those who aren't going to the game, looks like we're going to be watching this one and just staying live on YouTube. Can't see Ida starting. I can, because Michelle's heading to the sports bar for a bevy and try and get the new song. Her new, she has written a new Yamada song. So good luck getting that sung by the Green Brigades when they rejoin the Celtic fan base, when the business end starts. Play 4-4-2, Adamida and Maida That's never going to happen, Stephen. I think you've seen the formation that Brendan's going to go into the new season. It will be a 4-2-3-1 situation, so that he does have the three up front with the striker. He likes playing with that three across the middle, and playing the three across the middle with the single striker up front. It then gives you two in the box, so that's a bit like more a 4-4-2 at times. But anyway, we digress. I think Engels will struggle to get into the team. I don't. Why not do a watch along from a pub, Baz? Because it's a pain in the arse trying to do a watch along for the pub. There's every chance that it would get copyrighted from Sky, because you would hear it in the background. Last two games, Ada's got superb service. I blundered a few times. Brendan will change the strikers to prove a point. That's my thoughts. No, he'll be wanting to give him game time to see how he'll cope against a good team. It's as simple as that. He'll use all the big signings he'll use all the big first team players the first half, even up to about the 60th minute, to measure where they are and for the Champions League, up and coming Champions League game. And it'll be a warning to the board. You know, we're short on players. Brendan Rodgers will use today's game to prove that we need players in, because when you turn around and you look at the bench is going to be full of young kids. Ultimately, now we say, yeah, you want to give youngsters a chance. You're not wanting 5 or 6 untried and tested youngsters going into high level games in the Champions League, do you? Because that's just no way. You're not wanting kids with no Champions League experience, no European football, no first team football experience going into the Champions League. We're going to get our arse whipped. And I think that Viva la Quinta Yamada, and let us all remember them tonight. Oh, yeah, you're going to get some crazy Yamada songs coming out now, aren't we? A left back, a midfielder, striker, we still need a defender. We still need backup defender. You know, we've allowed far too many defenders to go. Both Bruni and Sutton have given Rodgers heads up on Lennon Miller, defensive midfield player. We need somebody like him to sit in front of our defence. I think that you've got him. I think we're looking at Lennon Miller, and I think Celtic aren't interested. And I'm going to tell you why, because we've brought in... Wait till you see today on Benji playing that holding midfield role beside Callum McGregor. Why would you go out and spend 6 or 7 million on Lennon Miller when you've brought in Benji for 1.7 million? It doesn't make sense. I think that the Lennon Miller one is done and dusted, it's gone. I don't think that he's coming to Celtic. And I think that Brendan Rodgers has moved on from that one. I think he understands that, yeah, we would like to get some more Scottish-based players in. I think that the ship sailed on Lennon Miller. We need a big hard centre-back. Yeah, we do that. We lack height in the team. I think we need more midfield. We need somebody taller and bigger in midfield, just to get the players... Somebody that's got a real bit of physicality about him, because I think that's it. CCV is on his way out, says Sunstone Sheep. I don't think so. He's injured. I don't think CCV is on his way out. I would say it's the opposite. I think that is Palma in the squad. I don't think so. He won't be anywhere near the squad. He's going to be. He'll be sold next week on Monday, I believe. It'll be announced on Monday that he has left Celtic. No, it was announced last week that he's left Celtic. Talking about Palmer's getting loaned out. He's out on loan for a year. So there's no way that Palmer's going to be even in the squad today. He's never had any part in training, so he's not going to be in the squad. We've brought in 4 signings, KT and the Swedish boy. We need a marking signing, one Yema type number, but Palma away to the Polish team for a season-long loan. Yeah, I know. We need a one Yema. I think that we need we need two wingers just as backup. We need two really good wingers as backup. Because letting go of, you know, Yang's wanted by Norwich. He's told Celtic that he wants out the door, right? Marco Tilio wants out the door. Doesn't want to stay at Celtic. Louis Palma out the door. That's 3. Jota's out injured. That's 4 players, 4 wingers, which leaves us with Dyson Maeda as your one and only winger going into the new season. Yes, you could play Benji as a winger, but we're playing him in the holding midfield role. Maybe that will change, but we are very short on players, and I don't say that to scaremonger. It's fact. You can look at the Celtic squad on the Celtic website. Jota out injured, Benji playing holding midfield, Adam Ida playing up front, Yang wants away, Callum Osmond is not ready. He's not ready for first team week in, week out at Celtic. He will be used like any other B team player, brought in for the last 15 minutes of games here and there when Celtic are 3-4-0 up, but he's not done enough for me. Johnny Kenny is better than Callum Osmond for me. Will both of them get a shot today on the pitch? We'll wait and see. We've upgraded Taylor to Tierney. Lost one guaranteed starter. We don't have backup to Kieran Tierney. We still need a left back backup. We've lost Jeffrey Sloop. Do you know, we don't have backup. Do you know, it's the squad has reduced massively, and then people just think of first team 11. But when you start looking at the bench, we are short on players, and that's why Brendan Rodgers is concerned. See if the team doesn't get improved at the end of the transfer window. That's when the fans should moan, and until then we should just chill out. By the end of the transfer window, it's too late, Lanky. We have this every season, and Brendan Rodgers isn't happy with the way the transfer window's going. I'm just going to say it. I think Brendan Rodgers is unhappy with the way the transfer window is going. And you can look back to his previous comments over the last 2 years. Get Sloop back. Sloop's not the answer. Sloop's not the answer though, is he? He doesn't fit the Celtic business model. That's putting a sticking plaster over the top of a position. That's not a long-term answer. We're looking at left backs, but it's whether we can get them in. If we end up bringing Sloop back, that's getting a sticking plaster and putting it on your arm and saying, "Fuck, it's the next manager's problem." This has been an ongoing problem for over 5 years, 6 years since Kieran Tierney left. Do you know? And it's a situation that will come to a head. And it'll be interesting. It will be interesting to sit and watch, because I think that Celtic will regress next season, and that's my big worry. Sloop was slack. He was worse than slack. Tierney, CCV, Johnson, Kalmack, they're injury prone. They missed 5-6 games. At least Lagerbelke, Rocky, Tilio, Kuhn, Sloop, Jota, Palma, squad players away. Too many problems. Yeah, there is that. Not long till the team will be out. Yep. Not long at all until the team will be out. Celtic haven't up there. There's a picture at Celtic Park. It's looking a bit overcast. Is that your summer done and dusted? Has summer come and gone already? It's about 20 minutes until the team's up. Club friendly against Newcastle United. I wonder how strong a squad that they'll put out. The fact that they're bringing up such a big fan base. It's a massive fan base that they're bringing today. If they think Bruni and Sutton, who? Johnny Kenny knocking balls onto Maeda. We're never going to play two in the middle. a few fans aren't happy with Brendan Rodgers, in your opinion. Why Brendan Rodgers? I don't think that Brendan Rodgers is the issue. Being honest, if Brendan Rodgers was the issue, I think that fans would have turned on him before now. I think that the issue is, as always, it's clammy as fook here at Parkhead. Whoa. At least it's warm. It's one thing. It's not about the end of the window. It's about helping the current players, the coaches, get into the Champions. Exactly. The board are committed to hindering that task. Exactly. But if you say anything, Liam, spot on, Liam. And, you get too many people saying, wait till the end of the window. That's not what Brendan Rodgers said to us. Brendan Rodgers, go and look back at interviews. Brendan Rodgers said, I want players in early so they can have a good pre-season with Celtic. He spoke about Nico Kuhn coming in at Christmas time. He says, wait till Nico Kuhn has a good pre-season at Celtic. We're not making these words up. We're not making them up. It's fine if we go and bring in 4 players in the last day of the window. Hurrah. But we've already done the Champions League qualifier by then. That doesn't help the squad. Bringing players in, you're ignoring Bruni's certain advice. 2 players, 2 legends. Lock the back door, stop Rodgers from running again. And I don't think it's about Brendan Rodgers running again. Josh Doig's never coming to Celtic. Is he not away somewhere else? It's not about Brendan Rodgers doing a runner. It's about Brendan Rodgers feeling that he's getting the backing from the board. And there's only so far you can take a club. And Brendan Rodgers has said this. Brendan Rodgers said it last season. He said there's either one or two things need to happen. You either need to change the manager, and that gives the current players a fresh impetus. It gives the players a boost. It allows players to see where they're at and improve and see if a new manager can get something out of them that the current manager can, or you change the players. Because there's a number of players that have been here for over 4 years, and you can get stale at a club, if you're not feeling pressured, if you don't think, if you, it's not maybe the motivation is still there, but you don't feel as if you have to try as hard. You've not got that hunger to go out and try and win every game because you think it's fucking easy. I've done it. We've done it before. I've done it for the past couple of years, and your level of enthusiasm maybe reduces slightly. And Brendan Rodgers sees that in players, so he said the other option is to change the players. There's only one or two things that get changed at a football club. Manager gets sacked because the players aren't performing. The players are performing, but then they start to not perform. Listen, successful teams have a high turnover of players. Alex Ferguson, you can always use Alex Ferguson as a benchmark because he had a turnover of players. There was a very small nucleus in the team that stayed for 7-8 years. Good managers, Ange Postecoglou said, do not get too used to your stars. That was an Ange Postecoglou saying. The fact that we've managed to keep a hold of Rio Hatate for so long, we've knocked back offers. It's been derisory offers, it's been cheap offers, but we've knocked back offers for Rio Hatate, and that has to be commended. Has to be commended because we haven't got anyone to replace him. When Ange was here, we had players in. You got a player in, and you're thinking, he's not going to get. How is he going to get into the team? We know that another player is going to leave the next window. We're not working like that anymore. That's not Brendan Rodgers' fault. That's the board's fault. That's the board changing their tactics. They would get the players in for Ange, but they're not getting the players in for Brendan Rodgers. They must have known that Nico Kuhn was probably going to get sold this window. Why not get a replacement in for Nico Kuhn the last window so that he's been with the team 5-6 months, and then he gets that pre-season that Brendan Rodgers talks about. There's a power struggle going on at Celtic Park once again, if you ask me. And the end of the window will either confirm or deny the power struggle. That's my take on it. It's just my opinion, but we see it playing out again and again and again. And the Celtic board will never change. And I think there's a big clash of egos at Celtic between the board that want to have us a rich club and financially fucking money coming out their ears, sitting on their chairs with their money guns going bang, 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 bang. And Brendan Rodgers, who wants the best for the club, to build a squad that could potentially get to the quarterfinals of a Champions League. That's where we want to be as fans. We don't want it. Winning the league. We've done 9 in a row. We've done trebles. We've done all this. Do you know, we as much as we want to maintain doing that, we're a laughing stock compared to a brand new club across the other side of the city that's got to later stages in the Europa a few times in recent years. Whilst we struggle, and that's down to the way that the board and obviously managers are. But anyway, it's a fantastic day today to see exactly how these players are ready for the Champions League. The bench is where you're going to look at today. The bench will give you a big benchmark on how close we are to being ready for the Champions League. Lanky says, who cares about them? But you're the same one, Lanky, that says, fucking wait to the end of the window. Do you know what I mean? We aren't strong enough, and that's a fact. And bringing players in at the last end of the window is not congruent to what the manager wants. So there's a power struggle. It's an obvious power struggle on one man in an organisation saying, I want this to happen. And the money men going, fuck, we'll see. We decide. We run the club. Do you know, that's not a big club thing. That's not a big club. Do you know, we act like a big club. We rip the fans off like a big club. We fucking fleece the fans like nobody's business like a big club. But when it comes to acting quick, we've went backwards over the last 2 years. You know, we praised the club, we praised the board for getting all these players in early under Ange Postecoglou, getting them in early. Do you know, fantastic times. But the same board members have to take it on the chin when they're the ones that are lagging behind and dragging their heels. And you can't blame that on the manager. Not a chance. Desmond will make the call to appoint Rodgers. He asked him to run the club. Lawwell uses Specky Lawyer to block Rodgers. Yeah, he does. It's pathetic. Don't accept it. It's going to be one of those seasons again. Whilst we will be competitive, as a Brendan Rodgers word. We'll be competitive. We'll be working on all fronts. We'll be battling on all fronts. We might be successful. You know, we might get the good result in Europe. It's papering over the cracks again. All we're doing right now is papering over the cracks. Over a decade of dominance, and we're not getting better with our roast. We're not getting better. Yeah, exactly. We've had 2 decades of dominance, and we're not getting... I mean, people will say, well, we are getting better. Well, we're not. On a European context, we're not getting better. For a club that's had so much dominance of its nation's leagues and trophies, we haven't improved on a European context. One season does not make us, and this is the big season. I'm going to say that this will be the biggest season since Martin O'Neill left Celtic. This season. That's how big a season I'm putting on this season. It's a mighty wake up call to the fans, because if we end up losing Brendan Rodgers and we bring in another Ronnie Deila type manager that isn't ready to take us to the next level, We all know what it is, but I'm not going to say it today. But anyway, it is all about Celtic playing Newcastle United. And the teams, what time is it? There's the team up there. The team will be out in roughly about 13 minutes time. Celtic have got the 60-page official match programme available to buy from sellers at the stadium today. And it's got Benji looking quite moody on it. It's like, go and smile, mate. I get this picture of Benji up for those who are not going to the game today. He must have thought it was a photo shoot for a modelling agency or something. Why has that done that? Delete that. Upload a new one. Image. Yeah, he must have thought he was on a photo shoot. It's like, smile, mate. I'm at Celtic. What a terrible picture. What a terrible picture to put out to somebody on a programme that you're trying to get punters to pay a couple of quid for. How much is the programme these days? I know that you still get it free in certain areas of Celtic Park. Certain lounges, you get them for absolute nada. But anyway, Baz, I completely agree with you. This year could be a turning point. We have to do good and make Europe for one and win the league. I think we need to win the treble this year, and we need to do slightly better in the Champions League to have a chance of Brendan staying. But it all comes down to this transfer window. And as the transfer window's going at the moment, it's not been a great window. You can butter it up all you want. I mean, people could butter it up and say, yeah, the window is fine. We've brought in X amount of players. But when you look at the money that's been brought in against the money that's been spent, we're sitting at around about 20 odd million in profit right now, just from the transfer window. Never mind bringing in season ticket money. Never mind bringing in merchandise money. Never mind bringing in anything like that. We are sitting just from player activity, 20 odd million in profit. We've got the money sitting there. We have the money to go out and spend and bring in the type of player that Brendan Rodgers wants to the club without breaking the bank, without touching the money that's in the bank. Let them keep their little piles of cash. Do you know, let them sit there like the big fat controllers and typical Tories counting beans and, well, we're fucking eating peas. Never mind. Celtic take on Newcastle United. It's going to be. Will it be a bit of a grudge match today? I'm sure the fans. I mean, how will the fans react to Eddie coming out? Newcastle fans will probably buy more programmes at the match than Celtic. Yeah, they will do, because they'll see it as a we've got in Celtic, fucking, and then they'll burn them. Let's see the treble malarkey every season, and let's drop it and just focus on the league. Why, Lanky? That's not a fan thing that's put out there. That's something that Celtic players sit down and have a conversation about. They want to win the treble. It's an objective put forward by Peter Lawwell. No, you're not getting that one, Lanky. This one, no. This has been something that Peter Lawwell has strived for the past 20 years. Total dominance of Scottish football was Peter Lawwell's own words. It's a board agenda. It's a board agenda to have total dominance of Scottish football, win trebles, continually to win trebles. That doesn't come from fans. That comes from the hierarchy at the club. Giving the manager targets on what they expect him to achieve this season. And that's what the managers are ultimately if you don't win a treble at Celtic, they see as not a successful season. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. Celtic board are not Celtic minded. Of course they're not. They're money men. Money men. Anyway, Celtic will be getting ready around about 8 minutes to release the team. I can release the hounds. Release the team. And our fans have had it hard for the trebles. Yeah. But we've also had it easy. But it also shows you the level of performance that we've... Sometimes when you grow something, and you grow a business, and you grow anything, and I can go back to a conversation that I had with a founding member of the Green Brigade, a pre-season game in Ajax. And at that time, the Green Brigade was just small. And it was a small unit, and everybody knew each other, and nothing got out the Green Brigade. It was compact, great bunch of folk, all got on well. But there was one guy, and he said it was turning into a circus. The bigger it grows, the bigger the monster is. And he said it was just a circus, and it was turning into a circus. And he was right, and he left the Green Brigade a few years back. Him and his wife were in it. And they were quite vocal on Twitter for a lot of years. But it's the same with the club. The more money that the club makes, it makes them greedy. They want more. They want to make more. They want to break records. They want to be the first club in Scotland to be sitting with £100 million in the bank. Why do you need £100 million in the bank? Yes, you could say, it's in case we have a couple of lean years. If we have a couple of lean years, that's because you haven't done your due diligence in bringing in players that are good enough to make sure that they have the success ongoing. And it looks like that we are entering in a period. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully that I am wrong. And that we are not... Look at the transfer valuations. 1.5 million, Shin Yamada. 1.7 million, Benji. 250 grand, Inamura. Couple of free players. It's managed decline. You can still be successful and win, but you can reduce the wage bill. Unbelievably. Accountants are brilliant at going, that's another 250 grand a week we've knocked off the wage bill just by getting rid of all those players. And we're bringing in players for Japan that's on about 4 or 5 grand a week. It's mind blowing. But it is what it is. Just check that notification. 5 minutes until the Celtic team is released. And then we'll see what Brendan Rodgers has done today. Will it be one of those moments where we'll go, fuck yes, get into this lot? Or is it going to be a case of looking at the team and thinking, we could be on to a hiding today? But then again, we thought that against the Portuguese champions. We did. We thought that against the Portuguese champions. We thought, look at that defence, we're on a hiding, and we won 2-0. But, we'll wait and see. This is a completely different kettle of fish, isn't it? This is English Premiership. But this is the games that the players should be getting up for. This is the games that Kieran Tierney will be telling these boys, we need to prove a point to these fuckers. We need to prove a point. They think that they're the big league. They think that they're better than us. They've got complexes. They think that they're they're the richest club in the world. I've got a mate who stays down in Middlesbrough, and every time they get beat, he goes, Marge, the richest club in the world got beat again. I also support Everton and Rapid Vienna. Fasco wanted Everton to do. Build a team for Europe. The league takes care of itself. Exactly, it does that. Is the board telling Brendan Rodgers what they really think about him? Yeah, it is. I think so. But anyway, it is what it is, isn't it? This is why it's called the One Celtic Fans View, because we like to get the views of as many fans as possible. We're lucky we're not excellent profits for players over the last few years. I've just never understood why we don't spend 20 million on good players just to qualify for the Champions League. You can make money and double it. Exactly, just from qualifying. If you look at last year, I know it was a different season altogether, but the new format. But you can go out and you could spend 8 to £12 million on decent players. And people say, well, we did that last year. Adam Ida's pish. Fucking Arnie Engels is shite. All the football coaches in the world tell us completely different. You know, they tell us completely different. But fans have a different agenda. And it seems that maybe the board are listening to the fans and saying, fucking don't spend that money. Are you mental? Anyway, whatever it was that was said at the last meeting between Brendan, Dermot and whoever on the board, you would have thought it was perfect time for Brendan to say he wants to stop fucking about or he wants to stay. Christopher, I think when you read between the lines of what Brendan Rodgers said after that meeting, he said we had a meal, we had a good chat over things, and then he said that a year is a long time in football. A lot can happen in a year. In other words, I may not get the players in to qualify us for the Champions League. That will be seen as a failure. The fans will get on my back. We may not win our treble. We may get put out of the Premier Sports Cup. That will put the fans straight on Brendan Rodgers' back. It's Brendan Rodgers and the manager of a club that takes the hit. Not the board. The board sit there and go, yeah, see, well, we're right not to give him money. We're right not to give him money because he's never done it. He's not achieved. Of course he wouldn't achieve if you're not able to get the tools. It's like a motor racing car. It's like Formula One. It's like the car just not getting serviced. Do you know? It's like not upgrading the brakes. You know, it's like not changing the exhaust or something, or not changing valves to give you that extra 10% brake horsepower. That's what Celtic are doing. They're reluctant to invest to make us better. That's what it's coming across as. But we as fans just need to bite our tongue and get on with it, because at the end of the day, we're going to support the team through thick and thin. And no matter what does happen, do you know, managers come, managers go, but we will always be here. So will the fucking board, unfortunately. So will the board. We're waiting on the team. There's been 30 seconds until the team does come out. Will it be a shock? Or will it be the strongest team? I think Dane Murray may get a chance today at the back, just to see how good and how ready he is for the step up to the Champions League. Because Dane Murray will be in the Champions League squad. He will be in the Champions League squad. But other than that, we still need some kind of improvement. And it's the winger situation that really concerns Brendan Rodgers. You can have all the strikers in the world, but if they're not getting the excellent service into the team, if they don't get that great service into the team, it's just going to be a disaster. Come on, Celtic, press the button. Team's out. Woofed. Told you, Murray starts. Team is Schmeichel, Ralston, Murray, Trusty, Inamura. Where's Kieran Tierney? McGregor, McCowan, Engel, Yang, Maida, and Johnny Kenny. There may be trouble ahead. I'll get this team up onto the screen before we all just decide to... Well, heads down if you're going to the game today. That's an interesting lineup. Let me just press this. A very interesting lineup by Celtic, it has to be said. Let me just get the full squad up onto there. Let's bring that down. So there is the squad. Schmeichel, Ralston, Murray, Trusty. Inamura. Wow. But a lot of people say, yes, the squad's fine. In the bench is Sinisalo, Ross Dohan, Clark. 3 keepers on the bench. Scales, Benji's on the bench. Adam Ida's on the bench. Marco's on the bench. Osmond's on the bench. Bernardo, Summers, Montgomery, Hattati, McPherson, Uri, Forrest, Donovan, Tierney. It's made up of youngsters. Which means there'll be a big change around later in the half. I'm not getting overly excited about that team. It was a big game and a big test. I think this is Brendan Rodgers showing the squad. What did you say? Either we'll play because Brendan will be trying to motivate him for the bigger games. That tells me that he is scared that Adam Ida gets an injury. Just like last season when Kyogo injured his shoulder. It tells me that the manager is wrapping our one and only main striker in cotton wool. Not giving him the game time that you would expect your main striker to get in a pre-season. Brendan Rodgers is wrapping him in cotton wool. Did KT pull something during his media availability? Kenny starting, which is a good thing. He's showing the board how weak they are. Yeah, he's showing he is. It's a statement of intent. It's a statement of intent by Brendan. I mean, you would think any other year we've put out a strong team. Look back to the Chelsea game last season, the Manchester City game last season. We put out our strongest teams. The boards are about to be awoken. I think 3-0 down at half time. So right now that you've seen the team, give me your score lines. Afternoon to you, Lorna. And I'm not too sure. I think that we're going to be Celtic. I think we will score. I think at best it'll be a 2-2 game. This is Brendan Rodgers playing games to get the purse strings loosened. Question: after the Sporting friendly, which one would you send on loan, Kenny or Adam Ida? Adam Ida, because Johnny Kenny was better. But it is only pre-season. I expect Adam Ida to get back. Bring back Ange with Bruni as assistant manager. Not a chance. Ange will never come back to Celtic. You need to get that off your head. Ange has said himself he will never go back to one of his old clubs. He said that himself. You're all going to get a shock. It's over, Baz, and the season's not even started. Brought a season ticket for Hull. No, you've not. Right, scorelines coming in. Celtic 2, Celtic 0, Newcastle 2, says Mad Mac. David Wilson says 3-2 Celtic. Hazel's going for 3-2 Celtic. 3-1 to Newcastle. 3-1 to Newcastle. 5-2 defeat today. We're going to get embarrassed. Remember, they did beat Rangers last pre-season. 2-1 at Ibrox. I want a 3-2 or a 3-3 today. 2-1 for Celtic. 3-1 is Celtic. Stephen Johnson's going 2-4 for the away team. Kenny will come good. That team's mixture. Is it possible for Desmond to get rid of the current board and replace them? No, they need voted off the board in this day. I predict 0-0. Not a chance. Celtic to lift the cup on penalties. Lorna says that she doesn't want Ange back. She wants Brendan to stay. I think a lot of people want Brendan to stay. I want Brendan to stay personally. But Ange said he would never come back. So this team is Breer's best shot at power play, Baz. So he will lose. Paul, this is This is him. He did this in a game, I can't remember which one it was. There was a game last pre-season, he did something similar to show the board that we need players in. And then remember when the season started and Kyogo goes down and we gets in Adam Ida the very end. It was a Sunday game, early pre-season, first part of the season. And we'd been in talks with Norwich for weeks and weeks and weeks. And Celtic were pissing back and forward. And as soon as Kyogo Furiashi got injured, the board moved like that. Brendan Rodgers had been warning the board that this was a possibility. You know, we're threadbare here, and I think this is what he's doing today again. He's shown that the bench is predominantly made up of a lot of younger players. I mean, you've got Sinisalo, who's your number 2 goalkeeper. You've got 2 other goalkeepers there that are not going to get any first team football this season. You've got Scales, yep. He would be starting. I think, I said that he'd bring in Murray just to show and to see how ready Dane Murray is for the Champions League. I think he's seen a little taste of him last year and he wants to see how well he can go this year. Benji, he's a first team starter. I think just allowing Arne Engels and Luke McCowan some game time from the start, because Luke McCowan's been fantastic coming on the second half. Let's see what he can do from the start. He's not going to be a first team starter, we know that. You know, Luke McCowan, positional play, runs and all the rest of it. He's a player that over the course of the season will come on and be a prolific guy to come on in the second half. Arne Engels, you're thinking, is a first team starter. Rio Hatate, being on the bench, you're expecting. I mean, when you look at it from a normal standard bench, you're going to have Scales, Benji, Adam Ida, Hatate, Tierney. There's 5 players that you'd say that if they're not playing, the other guys must be playing absolutely fantastic football. But Brendan will be wanting to make sure that the players that come on in the second half are equally as good as the players that have been on in the first half, to try and keep that impetus to try and win the game. Young Donovan, he's going to get put on loan. Young Forest, Uri, I think he'll get put on loan also. And it's whether Osmond gets any game time today. He's meant to be sitting thinking, do you know, where do I fit into this team? It's all fine being in first team training and that, but his game time is going to be hindered, I think. Dan Cassie says he reckons Brendan Rodgers will stay. Either doesn't have the minerals. That signing took us back the way. Ange would not change his style and was found out. Yeah, exactly, Jim. Ange would. We played fantastic football the other night. Played a 4-3-2-1 formation. Fantastic formation. Let's just get Brendan Rodgers, the players that he needs in, and let's see what this new formation change is like. I don't want to go back to the Ange type of football where it was gung-ho in Europe. Fair enough, he won the Europa with his team, but it was a fucking shitey final, and he played like Ross County. That's not the Celtic way. Do you know, that's not the Celtic way at all. I bet you didn't get Tottenham fans going, fucking that final was the best game ever. We sat with our back to the wall with 6 at the back, and we won a European final. That's not the Celtic way. You know, heaven forbid that we ever win a European final playing like that, because it'll be the most disappointing thing ever. Rodgers really likes Murray. I feel that he can be more aggressive for a big unit. Trusty and Murray should be posing a huge... I think Trusty and Murray are the two. I did say it after the game the other night. I think that they'll be the ones that start the season. First game of the season will be Trusty and Murray. I don't think that Cameron Carter-Vickers is going to be game ready. Definitely not game ready, because he's only started pre-season training this week, and it puts him 3 weeks behind everyone else, 3-4 weeks behind everyone else. So there's no way that is he going to be thrust into the first game of the season at Celtic Park. No way. It'll be interesting to see what changes he makes for the bench. I think it'll be a game where We would take it, says Del Boy. Would you take it? If we had to win a final just sitting with 6 at the back? Would you celebrate it like we do Seville? I don't think so. That's just my own feeling. Don't know, it's Newcastle fans of Tottenham fans have kind of forgotten about the final already. Do you know, they're more worried about trying to achieve something in the Premier League and getting tanked in the Champions League with another new manager. True, Ange football wasn't always the best. Managers get found out after 2 years, and I think that we need to give Brendan Rodgers has reinvented the team this season. Let's give him the chance to entertain us as fans again, and I think with the right players in, it could be a fantastic season. It could be the ultimate fantastic season. Anyway, kickoff is in just about an hour and 2 minutes time. We are staying live for that. Kenny and McCown deserve a start. Yeah, they do. That's the rain on at Parkhead. Oh, see. Maybe that will help Celtic. Maybe that will help them. Cheers, Mikey boy. 100% I'd take winning a European final like that. We never won in Seville. Nobody remembers how we played. Yeah, but we remember how we got cheated out of the game. The time wasting. We remember that type. We remember the negative side of the way that the team played against us. Do you know? So, storms are coming. Yeah, it's called Newcastle. What's the Newcastle team? No idea. Let me see if I could find it. See if they put it online. Is that the official team? Doubt it. Newcastle even on Twitter. I'm not going looking for their team. It's all about Celtic. We got played off the park against the Huns years ago and sneaked it. Brilliant win. Any Euro win with the finances we have, this win Spurs with their cash. Yeah. But anyway, let me see what some of the media are saying about that lineup. Let's see what Celtic are saying first of all. It's always interesting reading the Celtic article. Celtic's pre-season fixture schedule continues today as the Scottish champions return to Paradise for a match against Newcastle United. The two sides will compete for the inaugural Adidas Trophy. Oh dear. Coming off the back of the match, then 2-0 impressive victory over Sporting Lisbon on Wednesday. Today's match will see the clash of the League Cup winners. Both Celtic and Newcastle lifting their respective trophy. Fucking who cares about League Cup? We won the league. Do you know, that's like St Mirren saying, yeah, we're playing the League Cup winners for England because we won the League Cup. Oh God. The smell of the team is the Celtic team is Michael Inamura, Trusty, Murray, Ralston, McGowan. It's just telling us what we already know. God, you got to love Celtic. Eddie Howe's paid a compliment to Celtic fans. It's a compliment. He's going to get booed until he's a wanker. And will this, when you see that lineup, will this be one of Yang's last games for Celtic? Because him and Tillio both want away from Celtic. Both want away. This is a massive game for Yang. Because Yang now has to live up to the fact that he's a replacement for Nico Kuhn. And as it stands, are you happy? Are you happy? Nico Kuhn is the replacement as Yang. His replacement is Yang. That's unbelievable thinking. James, what's that? Baz Yamada has done the deal 4 days ago. Eddie Howe, shitebag, boo. You don't know, but it was only announced by Celtic today. It was only officially announced by Celtic today. It wasn't announced by Celtic 4 days ago, was it? Just go to the Celtic website and you'll see it. Yamada. Go into the Celtic YouTube channel. It's all about Yamada. Interviews. Celtic delighted to welcome Shin Yamada to the first team. The statement that was put out at 9 a.m. Celtic part time. Celtic Football Club is delighted to announce the signing of Shin Yamada, who joined the club on a 4-year deal from Japanese side Kawasaki, subject to international clearance. The 25-year-old is the latest addition to Brendan Rodgers' squad, along with fellow countryman Hitate Inamura. And his new arrivals this summer include Benji, Kieran Tierney, Inamura, Callum Osmond and Ross Dohan. Celtic will say, look, we've brought all these players in, and they'll say that it's been a successful window bringing all these players in, but we are not better. Shin Yamada, who recently gained his first cap for Japan, scored 32 goals in 121 appearances for Kawasaki, the same club that Ryo Hatate played for before joining Celtic. He will link up with fellow countrymen Ryo Hatate, Daizen Maeda and Inamura. Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers said, "I'm really pleased that we have brought in Shin to the club. He's a strong player who can score goals and create goals for others. I think for someone who can definitely add an important dimension to our forward line. I know that he's really keen to make his mark in European football and deliver for Celtic. I think he is someone who has the power, athleticism and intensity to play and really do well for us. I look forward to working with him." Shin Yamada said, "It's a huge honour for me to be here as Celtic player. Can't wait to begin my time at this amazing club. Celtic is one of the top names in world football. I've already watched countrymen like Maeda, Rio and Kyogo do well at Celtic. I aim to have the same impact. I am my own player and I'm ready to face with my own challenges directly. I want to do well at Celtic. I know that Celtic Park is one of the best places in the world to play football with the best supporters in and around the world. I think I can make a few fans proud of me. I promise I will give everything to bring success." That was a statement put out this morning by Celtic Football Club. Has anyone got a picture of Yang's bird? That's a bit creepy. That is a bit creepy. Better than losing 6 up front. A win is a win. Did we sing Yang's bird? Not yet. I think we all agree we need to, though. And it's a massive, massive game. It is a massive game for Yang today, because he needs to show that we've... did we sign Duhan? Yeah, we signed him. The Pope and goals. Maybe be better off with Pope and goals. Aye, she's a big lassie. I bet she's no. Jesus, what's wrong with you people? Anyway, confirmed. I think. Do you think that Brendan Rodgers is maybe not playing Kieran Tierney from the beginning, so he can get that wee standing ovation as he brings him onto the park? You know, welcome back to the stadium type thing. Maybe that's the real thing. Celtic are going for the showtime today. You know, they're going to bring on. They'll bring on before at half time. They'll bring on Yamada at half time to speak to the fans. In the second half, they'll bring on Kieran Tierney. I can't expect the fans to go absolutely mental. But it's a pre-season friendly. They tend not to. Kevin is in the house. He said it's 3-1 Celtic. JGB, apologies for. I would have Bernardo in the team before Arne Engels. I don't think Bernardo is right up to pace with things after the holiday that he had. You've got to remember that he was also playing international football. So is he ready for a first team start, or is it, just bring him in gently, the same as what he done with a couple of other players? I mean, when you look at it, we're still Cameron Carter-Vickers short. We're still Alistair Johnston. which is two fantastic players. I mean, the basis of the team is there, but we just need improvements in. Hope the Loudmouths have a banner up today about not spending. Who's the Loudmouths? The Loudmouths won't be at the game today. It's a pre-season friendly. They don't generally do pre-season friendlies. If you're talking about the Green Brigade and the boys, they might be there, I don't know. But the whole sections won't be there. It's very rarely that they do pre-season friendlies at Celtic Park. They may use the game to have their first meet-up of the season. Every chance of that. And then they'll be sitting watching it in the Celtic Supporters Club like everybody else. German sportswear giants want the Celtic to win the inaugural Adidas Cup. Oh, we are 52 minutes away from the game starting. I'm just catching up. Bernardo before Engels for me. Bernardo, it's a big season for him as well, because he's bound to feel... He was injured last season. The Green Brigade should be there knowing the Geordie's attendance. Why should they be there? The Green Brigade as a group probably spend more on European games than Newcastle have in Europe. They've never went to pre-season friendlies for the past, what are we at, 20 odd years, 19 years, is it, or is it 20 years? 2006 to 2006. Sadly, we rely on the Green Brigade to create the atmosphere. There's never atmospheres at pre-season friendlies though. Hope Celtic TV is better than the other night. It was atrocious. Yeah, it was ridiculous the other night. Freezing like anything. Just Celtic TV at its best, isn't it? And this won't even be on a foreign station because it is only... There's the Newcastle team. Who cares about Newcastle? Newcastle fans take over Rangers pubs ahead of Celtic friendly. Guess the paper. Of course they do. Take over. That's no taking over. There's 10,000 of them in town. The Daily Record, just absolute shambles of a paper. Oh my god, this is Newcastle. I'm going to put this up. I wouldn't put it up usually because it's just that mob, but this is Newcastle fans taking over Glasgow Rangers pubs. There's about 10 of them standing outside. I've been to many Celtic pubs where there's about 100 folk standing outside. But this is Newcastle fans taking over a Rangers pub. The whole, 10 of them. Oh dear. Right, that's it. God, come on. Oh, let's get rid of that. There's enough of that on my screen. Oh my goodness. The hilarity. You can just see it. Lowell's son has just bought a new house. Who's paying for that? I don't know. Lowell. What I'm hidden. Yeah. Daily Rangers at it again. Yep. Hate Ant and Dick and Newcastle Brown Ale stinking. Is that still on the good? A Gallagate fan zone for Newcastle fans. The Georges and Union Bears going to do a sponsored walk or run. Oh Jesus. I hate Ant and Dick and Cheryl Cole, Kevin Keegan, Alan Shearer. Oh my god, the Geordie hate's coming right out now, isn't it, in some of the chat. Newcastle are saying that they've got a couple of their first team stars out. Alexander Isaac is out. And the £63 million player has also been rested. That puts things into perspective, Celtic fans, doesn't it? I mean, we complain about Adam Idah being 9 million, where Newcastle today are resting, says on the Chronicle Live, they're resting a £63 million player. Does it not make you sort of sit back and go, yeah, you get what you pay for, isn't it? You get what you pay for. I mean, if we were resting Adam Idah, maybe we are. I think Brendan Rodgers is. I think Brendan Rodgers is wrapping him in cotton wool. Alan Shearer, he's a wanker. Michelle Shaw says 2-0 Celtic. Alan says we haven't got a first team yet. We do have a first team. I just think that the first team needs a little bit of help. Isaac's off to Saudi. Is that why he's rested? They're saying that he was rested today. But then if he's off to Saudi, how much are they selling him for? Won't be 25 million. You wouldn't mind 9 million for Adam Idah if he was decent, but he's pish. How can you say that a player that scored 20 goals last season is pish? When was the last 20 goal pish player that we had? I can think of a lot of strikers that cost half decent money and didn't score 20 goals in a season. I'm just putting it out there. I do have to play devil's advocate sometimes, and there's been players that we've brought in for 5-6 million that haven't scored 10 goals in a season. So you can't say Adam Idah's piss. Pure pish. Isaac is pish, and we have Adam Idah. You know, you're walking home for a game and you've won. People ask how you got on. We won. You don't care about how you played. You won. That's all that matters. People talk pish about Adam Idah. Muppets. Square sausage mix on the roll. It's soon time to switch Celtic TV on. Same Saudi mob that own Newcastle. 20 goals and a lot of that, and not a lot of minutes. Yeah, exactly. 20 goals, and you think about the minutes that he was on the pitch. You're only as good as your last game, Baz. Adam was right in the last game. Stevie Wonder would have scored those 2 chances. Oh, could you imagine if somebody said that about Henrik? You're fucking shite. You imagine big Chris Sutton, John Hartson turning around to Henrik and go, what the fuck was that? You fucking could have just hit it in the back of the net, but no, you try to do the fucking smart thing, Henrik. Had 2 chances, waste it. You're utter pish. You're only as good as your last game. Fuck off. Not a chance. Do you know what I mean? He only scored 20 goals that season, Henrik. Oh, he's pish, man. Oh, he was out injured for half the season. Oh, he's fucking shite. He's fucking missed 2 chances. Price affects how we feel about Adam Idah. Paid over the odds. If it was 4 million, we wouldn't say a thing about him. You would say he was brilliant, wouldn't you? Oh, it's brilliant. Let's get behind the whole team, boys. No nitpicking. We're all bored. Yeah, I think once it kicks off, Adam Idah couldn't hit sand if it fell off a camel's back. Adam turns like a Highland pony. Oh, then he start talking about Highland ponies and Highland cows, because remember that Celtic are trying to fleece us with a little Highland cow, and I think it's totally disrespectful to Hoopy the Hound. Whoever brought that bit of merchandise in needs a serious talking to, because Hoopy the Hound must be feeling absolutely devastated that sales of Plush the cow have exceeded Hoopy the Hound. That's what we should be talking about. Never mind talking about, come on, Henrik, you only scored 50 goals, get a grip, son, says Monty Tick Mick. This is what we should really be talking about whilst we're waiting on this game starting. We should be talking about how Hoopy the Hound's feeling. Because Hoopy the Hound's been around at Celtic for a long, long time. And for merchandise sales of Plush, the Highland Cow, to overtake Hoopy is an embarrassment. It is a complete and utter embarrassment. Look how different the team was against Sporting. Yep. Henrik's first 4 games for Celtic, he was pish. Played in the wrong position. Larsson would have scored at least a hat-trick overnight. No, he wouldn't. He would have got. It took Larsson a few years to get into the rhythm. I accept some element of organic and ultras. The jungle. Welcome, join the jungle. Now, ultras are not open to all. Do you really want to be an ultra though? Do you know what I mean? Can we not just get back to the whole stadium when it used to be the whole stadium singing, and you didn't need to be an ultra to sing? That's just my honest opinion. Having been someone that's sat in 111, having been someone that's sat in Club Celtic Lounge, can we not just be fans that just get up and sing? You don't need to be an ultra to sing. You know, so Bobby Lennox was the man. He was that. He still is. Afternoon Baz says, Jim. Outrage. Exactly. That's the outrage that we should be talking about. Highland Cow on my avatar. Yep. But it's not Plush. It's not Plush. You need to change that to Plush the Highland Cow. Can't believe that Celtic are selling a Highland Cow. Absolutely. It's just... It's mad. It is absolutely mad. Obviously, Newcastle now taking up a lot of the headline space when it comes to Celtic due to the game today. Transfer speculation and talk will take second stage until after the game today. And then the media type of guys will be in the back end of Celtic Park talking to their snitches and people that release information. Maybe even talking to Brendan Rodgers and saying, come on, Brendan, what's happening? Ooh. Is Yamada's arrival a strategic and exciting move for Celtic? At 25-year-old, I'm going to say no. I don't think it's a strategic, and I don't think it's an exciting move. Unless he goes on to be more prolific, but I just can't see it. I can't see him being more prolific than... Hoopy the Hound has been around since 1988, says James Beattie. Let's be honest, Adam Eder should have scored. Yeah, I know he should have scored the other night. The Georges will outsing us today. Yes, they all will. Tell the Scottish media nothing. Well, the Scottish media are integral to Celtic fan media. Just saying. A lot of the Celtic fan media work directly for an organisation that is mainstream media. That's who pays their bills. We should be booed. What? I love ultras. They love the club. They bring colour, passion, and noise. But Celtic fans, Liam, I'm all for ultras, right? But I'm also old enough to remember Celtic Park when it didn't need ultras. And that is a modern fan downside. The modern fan doesn't like getting up off its arse and singing for 90 minutes. Do you know? And it's modern fans. So you do need an element of a singing section, but we tried that through Celtic. We tried the singing section. The club put them away up in the north corner, the top end of the stand, where they just weren't effective at all. Hence the reason that the Green Brigade wanted to move down, and the only place that you could put them. And a thing that a lot of people will not know is the original area in 111 that the Green Brigade were put was an area that was specifically for Celtic staff. That whole corner was actually taken up by Celtic employees and Celtic that had season tickets. Yeah, the jungle. That was the good old days. Reeking of pish up the back. I loved the old stadium. I loved the old stadium. I've got a lot of good memories in the old stadium. My biggest one in the old stadium is obviously the game against Liverpool for the Hillsborough disaster. I've got a lot of weird memories about that game because it was during the time where obviously the poll tax had came in Scotland, and it was all mixed fans, and the Liverpool fans and Celtic fans were together. And I remember I was standing in front of a barrier, and there was two guys behind me, a Liverpool supporter and a boy for Glasgow, and they spent the whole game talking about because they didn't have the poll tax in England at the time, and the two of them were talking about the poll tax the whole game, and I was like, what the fuck? It was bizarre, and just for what the whole game meant and all the rest of it and everything that. And then you've got these two guys talking about the poll tax the whole game. It was one of the maddest memories. I mean, I've got memories of standing in the centre circle with my dad and Roy Aitken as a young kid. I was about 12-year-old. You're watching Paul McStay doing sprints up and down the side of the park. That was bonkers. Do you know? And it's like, that's how you knew Paul McStay was good. But when you see a player of his standard doing extra sprints after training up and down the side of the park, different level stuff. Unity Stadium looks great, but you can never beat the old stadium for atmosphere. Nah, you can't. If Newcastle are any good, or will we walk over that team? I think if Celtic play to our optimum today, we should beat them. I've got a funny feeling that Celtic will win this today, and I think that's why Brendan Rodgers has put the team out the way he has. He wants to be able to bring on in the second half players that know the system. I think that when he made the changes in the 67th minute on the game the other night, the momentum in the game stayed the same. But I think that Brendan doesn't want to lose the intensity of losing so many first team players. So hence the reason that Tierney's going to get his standing ovation coming onto the park. And then you'll probably find that Hatate will come on, Benji will come on, Ross Dohan, Bernardo and Forrest, they'll all come on at the same time. You'll see a big change like that, but it'll all be first team players that will come on, just so that Brendan Rodgers will want to win this game. It throws down, see when we win against an English team in pre-season, it throws down a marker. Do you know what it says? We're not a backwater. We're not fucking Farmers League like that lot keep down the road keep saying. Oh, it's a fucking Farmers League, innit? It's a Farmers League, innit? Fucking fuck off. We're going to show you Farmers League. We're going to send you back homewards to think again. To paraphrase a song. But anyway, I think Brendan Rodgers will want to go all out to win this game in full time. I don't think he'll want to go to penalties or such like. I hope we don't go to penalties. It's not going to be extra time or that, so it will be the 90 minutes. So let's just hope that we can do the business. And it does, but it comes with a caveat. It does come with a caveat, because if you watch the changes that we make, right, it can say one or two things to the board. It says, do you know, we need players in. And if you look at the bench, but it also says to the board may sit and go, Brendan, I thought we were like in dire need of players here. You've just beaten Newcastle on your own turf. Now, if why would I even want to be able to do an English accent? That's just it's something that any Scottish person should never ever want to achieve in their life, is having the ability. My missus can do it. she rips the piss out of this English geezer. Anyway, we move on. Not with that team, Baz. You couldn't win a game of bingo with that squad. Whoop-ass. Oh man, I'm trying to keep this as possible as we can. We're trying to keep it as positive as we can. Done either. Hopefully we are fitter. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Hopefully fitness comes into play. And and that's what gets us over the line today. I was at the Rapid game early '83. Great atmosphere in the old stadium. I preferred then. Must be an age thing. Was that the game where we got? Did we win at home and got beat away? If I remember right. Alan. I was only a kid at the time. Yeah, 11-year-old. 83. No, I would have been 11-year-old. Hoofed. That's the strongest team starting. No, it's not the strongest team starting, but it's a team that I can understand why Brendan Rodgers started this team. Ralston, he's an international player all day long. Dane Murray, you want to test him at the highest level to make sure that he is ready for Champions League. Because Dane Murray's going to be in the Champions League squad. Dane Murray, for me, is going to be the player that will go beside Austin Trusty in the first game of the season at Celtic Park. Inamura, I think Inamura is just in there from the start so that we could see what he can do. But to give Kieran Tierney his big moment, walking onto the pitch, do you know, the stadium announcer, bring her on Kieran Tierney. It's all done for the entertainment value. McGregor's a starter. McCowan, he needs to be given a chance to see what he can do against top level, because he will be used more this season. Arnie Engels, well, he's a £11 million man. He's fitter pre-season wise than Paulo Bernardo, so he starts to give that stability in the midfield. Yang, well, he wants away to Norwich. Well, if you're wanting away to Norwich, this is the standard of the teams you're going to play. Shows that you're as good as what you think you are against this team. And if it does, it pumps on another 5 million to Norwich. Let's do to Norwich what they did to us. So you can understand why he's done that. Dyson Maida on the other wing, Johnny Kenny up front. Johnny Kenny he needed to start because he was better. He brought more to the game than what Adam Ida did. And let's face it, with only one main first team striker that could speak English and knows the team inside out and the way that we play. Yes, Shin Yamada was brought in today, but he needs to learn how we play and everything, and you know, can he hit the ground running? I know that he's match fit. He doesn't need to catch up with a pre-season or anything like that. He has just went through I think it's 3/4 of a season. But you can understand why he's played those players, and it also gives them the ability to bring on 5 first-team players in the second half to make sure to push on and try and win the game. Do you know? So Tierney will want to prove. Do you know what I mean? Some of the Arsenal players will be like, "Oh, you went down a league, have you, Kieran? Take it easy." Well, we're going to show you. James Forrest, they should all bow to James Forrest. Every single Newcastle player coming onto the pitch they should have a guard of honour just for James Forrest coming out of the team, and that should the Newcastle team should just do a guard of honour for James Forrest because he's won so much over his 17 years at Celtic. Hatate, well, it's going to be, will Ben Summers get a game? Will Montgomery get a game? These are players, Donovan and Uri. These are players that have a possibility of being in and around the first team, but is more likely that they're going to go out on loan. It's more likely they're going to go out on loan, which then has to say is we do need players in. Murray may start versus St Mirren if he does. I think Murray's one of the guarantee. Charge them 30 million for Yang if they want him. No, just charge 9 million. Hopefully Yang goes out today and just runs rings round that lot, and it gets her 9 million back. You've got to laugh, haven't you? You do have to laugh, because if we don't, it's Yang paying so we can get more money. Hopefully. Right, what time is it? It's only past yet. Celtic TV will not be on, but we could try it anyway. Done it. Yeah, they're just playing music. Music in the background. Celtic television. Celtic versus Newcastle. Welcome to Celtic TV. That's a new graphic they've got up this year. Kenny wondering, wonderful flying forward. Liam says, personally, I think it will be a pumping today. Give Norwich Yang for nothing. That would teach them. Isaac's out today. John Shirley, Isaac isn't playing today. He's rested, allegedly. Charge Norwich 9 million and give them Adam Ida back as part of the deal. That's terrible. That is unbelievable. Come on, that's disrespectful to Yang. Surely. Give them Adam Ida. Oh, Jesus. Any idea of the attendance? No, we'll get an idea of the attendance once Celtic Telly does switch itself on. You'll be able to get an indication of. James Beattie says James Forrest should get a guard of honour just for being a one club man. I think everyone should give James Forrest a guard of honour. And if it is to be his last season at Celtic, especially towards Adidas should play the new advert every day on STV, especially if it is his last season at Celtic. I want us to go out. I want to treble this season just for Jamesy Forrest. Let's hope there's a better picture on Celtic TV today. Yeah, it was they'll blame the Portuguese stuff. I just hope it's. Marco Tillio is wanted by Rapid Vienna. Yep, we spoke about that at the beginning. We've still got it there. Marco Tillio, Rapid Vienna want him. We spoke about all the wingers that won't away. Marco Tillio, Yang, Kuhn. Howie hands Celtic audition to under 21 stars and returning loan talents. $10,000 mags will pack out the away end. Mags. Oh, Jesus. They have got a 19-year-old Norwegian under 21, under 20 nationalists. Alex Murphy, Irish boy, spent the last season at Bolton. They're playing a lot of the younger players. I don't really care who they're playing. Don't care who they play. I just want to whip their arse. I want to beat this lot so much. Honestly, beat them so much. Isaac has come to us, Baz. That's why they're playing. Half only 63 million. That's half a Celtic squad. Could you imagine how many? Don't say that because you would get the board sitting going, we could get in around about 30 players for that money. That would build the Celtic squad for the next 3 years. Do you think Liverpool will go for Isaac Steven? No idea. Looking at the squad, it's underwhelming going into the new season. It says Carter. I hope that's Cameron Carter Vickers. Sitting there going, fucking, we are shite. The squad's weak, man. Jesus. Neil says it's going to be 2-1 Celtic. Big Des says it's going to be 3-0 Celtic. I've said it's going to be 2-2 Celtic. And then Celtic to win on penalties. Baz, before the Newcastle game, the Tim Alloys should have a whip round for Gaza. Why would you have a whip round for Gaza? He's a wife-beating alcoholic. Baz, we offered them 6 million. Yeah, and they want 60. But never mind, it is all good. Right, remember to stay on the channel because I am watching the game live. That's why the scoreline is up. Mark says, yeah, fuck everyone, Baz. Yep, exactly that. Alexander Isaac. Open. I mean, usually at this time of day you would get some indication of any sneaky news coming out of Celtic, but there's nothing at all. Be a different game tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow morning, the Sunday editions. There's always something comes out late after the game. Glad McGregor is getting some minutes. Can you put the what pictures up? The live picture? No, I can't put live pictures up. Because I'll get copyrighted by Celtic. I'll get a nice little email from Celtic Football Club saying, you've copyrighted us. I'm not getting a copyright notice. Where is the hand of God? She's the one that sorted the telly out. She's I don't know if she's in the pool or if she's sunbathing or no idea. Might be hiding out in the sun because it's that friggin' hot. Glad to see Johnny Kenny getting a start. Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be. This is a good test for Johnny Kenny. It doesn't matter what level the players are that Newcastle put out today. It's a big test for Johnny Kenny. Do you know, if we're going playing League of Ireland, coming to Celtic, and then having this big test against them to see how well he can do. Good boxing on tonight. Yeah, I seen something about that last night. What's shots? Oh my God. But as that shouldn't be the case, all our media outlets are hun-driven. Any release of info should go through our pages. Well, they do go through our pages, Francis. And but the problem is some of the Celtic fan-based media are owned by the Herald Group, and that's a fact. There's a lot of your big channels out there are financed by the Herald Media Group, and that's your Celtic channels. So the mainstream media have managed to keep their hand in. Do you know what I mean? As much as you like it or not, you know, it's to me the whole fan media thing is just a load of nonsense that was brought in during 2020, during COVID. I'm just a YouTuber, not fan media. Johnny Kenny double today would be great. It would be. And I think that it throws down the gauntlet to Adam Ida. It throws down and it gives... I tell you one thing, if Johnny Kenny scores a double today, he's now going into the new season and Adam Ida's looking over his shoulder thinking, do you know what? This guy's better than me. This guy's got the potential to be better than me. And I think that, yes, you've just said it, that ball through to Luke McCowan, that was a fan. You wouldn't have thought that was a striker. That wasn't a striker's flick through. I mean, that was up there with Paul Lambert's. It was up there with Neil Lennon's. It was up there with the Maestro. You know, that pass was that good. For the outside of his boot, hitting it forward, to know that Luke McCowan's running and can get that ball, and for the ball to land right in front of him, absolutely brilliant play from the young guy. And I hope he scores today. My other first goal. Tell me in the comments who you think will be the first goal scorer. If he scores the game, then the bid will come in. 101 Mikey Johnson hat trick. 1,000-1. Oh my God. I don't think Mikey Johnson will be there today, but yeah, we could live in hope and pray. We can that. Celtic TV has changed, so hopefully that is coming on in the next 5-10 minutes. But Kenny has proved nothing yet. Johnny Kenny has proved nothing yet. But then some people will say that Adam Ida has done nothing, even though he scored 20 goals. Trusty header. Austin Trusty for a header. Austin Trusty doesn't score many goals for the head though, does he? There's more. I think Dane Murray for a header. I'll tell you one thing, it's a big game for Dane Murray as well, because if he stands out today like he has done in some of the other games, it gives the manager a big smile on his face, going, yeah, we've got a good player here. We've got a player that we don't need to... I mean, you could say that Dane Murray has just saved Celtic £4 million by coming through the system and being so good. If you look at the money that was paid for Rocky, now Rocky's went out on loan with the option to buy. If you look at the money that was spent on Gustav Lagerbielke, you could say, okay, there's the similarities. You could say that Dane Murray is maybe the same standard as Gustav Lagerbielke. So there's a £3 million player. A £3 million player that's came through the academy. So it's a saving of £3 million. Do you know? So I hope he does really, really well. I really does. I really do. All the forwards are on an even keel this season. Are they? Don't you think that is the fact that we still have Dyson there? Will Celtic revert to using Dyson as one of our main strikers, or because we don't have Kuhn, because we don't have Jota, we're going to have to keep Dyson as a winger, because we're that poor in the department right now. Yang hat-trick. If Yang scores a hat-trick today, Kenny's got a fast twitch muscle. Adam Eder doesn't. Yeah, he's got a few years on him, which gives you that indication that he might be. I've just got a funny feeling about Johnny Kenny. Celtic do not want to sell him. I mean, getting that £500,000 bid in from Bolton was just a slap in the face, really. Celtic know that he has the potential to go on and be a top level striker, and you don't want to lose that. Do you know, we've lost too many players that have went on to be real good players. You want to somehow keep Johnny Kenny at the club, or maybe loan him out. But ultimately, you want to keep him at the club and try and bring him on yourself. I'd celebrate it. Celebrate what? How many goals would that forward line score over a season compared to Kyogo, Kuhn and Jota? Yang's not scoring 10 goals a season. I'm sorry, but he's not. Yang will not score 10 goals a season. Dyson Maeda, yeah, you're wanting Dyson to score about 30 again, 35. Johnny Kenny, can he do what Adam Eder has done and scored 20 goals last season? He's backup. Johnny Kenny's backup this season. Yamada and Benji will be first team players. The rest who came in are prospects. Yeah, that's true. Apart from Kieran Tierney, obviously. We need to keep Dyson playing through the middle. Another winger, Kenny, should stay as well. Yep. Do you think that we'll see more of Dane Murray? Yes, we will. I think that when he got that injury, Yang is pissed, said it. Yeah, Hank, I think Yang's terrible myself. Yeah, Dane Murray, I think that injury was maybe the best thing that could have happened to him, because it allowed him a bit of extra time to work on his upper body physicality, and that's what Brendan Rodgers has been wanting from him. Do you know? And you want him to bulk up a bit. You want him to have that about him, and I think that Dane Murray could be an absolutely fantastic. Come on, Celtic TV. Tell me it's frozen already before it's even started. Is it playing music? It's still playing music. Playing Wild Rover. Only never. Only never no more. The Wild Rover. 15 minutes to go. I'm on the hoop, says Tarmac. Yep. All these guys looking good in videos. Some of them got goals. Yamada has scored. We're lethal. Yeah, but the only thing about these videos that people put together, people put these collection of goals together just for clicks and to score, to get. They don't show you the 90 minutes that they're pure rubbish. I mean, for me, Lewis Palmer looks like an amazing player on some of these YouTube videos. Brendan Rodgers called him the star when he come in. You know, apart from a European game mistake, Murray's been decent. Yep, that one back against Aston Villa. But it was a sign of a good player, his reaction. Do you know, even though he slipped on the pitch and he ultimately gave the ball away and it cost a goal, when he was out wide, he wasn't even right in front of the goal. He was out on just out the width of the goal. but slamming his hand on the pitch, he was frustrated with himself. He knew that he was way better than that, and that's when it was like, that's a sign of a good player. And then the injury just came at the wrong time, way wrong time. John Shirley says, Baz, Howie up, fear Celtic job again, no chance. Yamada is not really near the Japan national team. He's way down the pecking order. Yeah, but is he before Kyogo? He was on the bench for the last game. Kyogo was nowhere to be seen. So it'll be interesting if Yamada overtakes Kyogo, even though Kyogo's went to Birmingham. It'll be interesting if Yamada does it in the Champions League, scores some goals top level in Scotland, gets the nod by the national manager, and then, that would be hilarious. There's Brendan Rodgers talking. There's a big quarter of the stadium, top tier, empty. So it looks around, there's going to be around about 35,000 fans maybe. So you're talking about 25,000 Celtic fans. There is the home ticket cup scheme, there's around about 25,000, but there'll be a lot of fans that don't have season tickets that they'll be there today. So they're just talking about the players that are playing. It's all about getting game time. So the talk is, it's all about just game time, which means that Brendan Rodgers will... it is going to be one of those games where there'll be a lot of changes. Now looking at the stadium, the section above the Green Brigade in that area is completely empty. So basically Newcastle fans have got quarter of... Well, they've got right behind the goals. It is a big away fan base, big massive gap between them and then the Celtic end. The first part of the fans that are sitting at the Celtic end is the Green Brigade section. It doesn't look like the whole Green Brigade section are there. There is obviously people in their seats, but the Green Brigade as a group will not be there. And then there's lots of dotted seats round about that are empty, but you're still 10 minutes to go, so a lot of people will be in the back of the stadium. Brendan Rodgers is on.
Felt there's an increase in the standard as you've gone through the pre-season. What sort of game are you expecting from a top Premiership side?
Well, exactly that. I obviously know a lot of the players well. I obviously Eddie very well, and I know how good they've been. So now you got a team here of top physicality, technically very strong.
Brendan,
physical, dynamic players. So
talking about them having physical and dynamic players.
In terms of preparation, are you happy with where you are, and to assess again in the next 90 minutes almost all of your squad?
This will be it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's balancing again. We had to take any consideration. We had the game on Wednesday. Got some players up to 60 odd minutes or so. So now Saturday, quick turnaround. So we've got to fit that round and then bring those players.
Right. So Brendan Rodgers says the reason that players are not starting the game today is the ones that played 67 minutes of the game on Wednesday night. It's just to give them a bit of a rest, and then they'll come on in the second half. So it is all about managing game time and getting the physicality. And
Yeah, I think it's one that when you're a club the size of ourselves, I always say it's never a friendly, it's always a test. But
it's never a friendly, it's always a test.
Of course, you want to win every game. Physically getting through with no injuries.
Getting through with no injuries, says Brendan.
Looking to keep increasing performance level. So,
And keep increasing the performance level. Keep increasing the performance level. Keep increasing the performance level. And that's what it is when you get to this time of the season, isn't it? It is all about increasing the performance, making sure that the players are focused on being fully fit and 100% ready for the start of this league season. So, copyright was playing an interview with the live audio. Well, it's only a couple of minutes worth, so let's hope that they don't get it. Let's hope they're too busy. Let's hope they're too busy. Plus, they can't copyright the whole hour that I've been on, so. Anyway, can't stand Eddie Howe, neither can I. Adidas trophy wouldn't look out of place in paradise. No trophy looks out of place in paradise. You're lucky if there's 30,000 fans there today. There is that. If you imagine right behind the goals where the Rangers end, I mean, there's the full. If Celtic would take down the bit that they've got on the screen, because there must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sections in the top tier empty, and then about 1.5 section of the bottom tier empty. Yamada will need time to adapt. We need to be patient with him. Yeah, do you know he's not ready for he's not 32,000. I think. Yeah, it's maybe about that. It's maybe about 32,000, which is decent for a pre-season friendly. It is decent for a pre-season friendly. It's not going to be a great atmosphere at the game. It's not going to be a game of great singing banter back and forward, that's for sure. Do Newcastle fans even sing? Celtic are now showing us missed Adam Ida opportunities. Oh, you should have buried that, Adam. Why are they doing this to us? It's just given. Oh, here we go. As always, true to form, Celtic TV freezes before the game even starts. What do you make of Montgomery? What do you make of Montgomery? I think he's a decent little player. That cross for Kieran Tierney to land right at Adam Ida's foot, and he totally fluffs it. Totally fluffs it. It does get watched. When you watch it back, I mean, it was a sublime cross for Kieran Tierney, and for that to land right at his foot, and all he has to do is just smash it into the back of the net. Buns are all in meltdown over pre-season compared to ours. Who cares about them? Switch it over. Showing us the second half. I just see that when you watch that game, oh geez, there's Adam Ida again. That was Johnny Kenny penalty. Rio Hitati penalty. Oof. It is Rio Hitati's face when he walks back to the players. He's like, ah, fuck, I got lucky there. He was a bit embarrassed at that because it seems to hit off the underside of the keeper, doesn't it, and then go in. I'd be happy if Montgomery frame back up to Tierney. It's not a bad shout, but I think that Brendan Rodgers is thinking more for high level games. You want a player that's going to give you a bit more experience, and I think that is the big thing. You want someone that's going to give them that bit more experience. The cracking goal for Luke McCown. Luke McCown goes like that. I never seen that during the game. Get it up, yous. Oh Jesus. Rio was lucky as well. Power took it over the line. Yeah, it did. It did take it over the line, which was good though, because you're not wanting a. That was good by McCown. The more I watched that back, I mean that pass. That pass and McCowan just doing the sort of reverse angle, just put it past the keeper. That was good. That was good. And it's no wonder he gets a start today. So you'll be hoping for him to run at the Newcastle backline. My God, Celtic they've got the lights on. It's broad daylight, Celtic. Aye, they misses far too many chances. Yeah, he might miss far too many chances, but it's Shin Yamada is on the pitch. Your new signing. Yamada introduced to the fans before the game kicks off, so that it doesn't take away from the limelight from Kieran Tierney. And it's just showing you the Green Brigade section, which is the Green Brigade aren't in place. Yamada taking the applause of the fans. Must be warm today. Everyone's got t-shirts on. God, he looks a bit overwhelmed. He does look a bit overwhelmed, Yamada. Sinn Féin Yamada. Sinn Féin Yamada. I was waiting on that one. So the pitch has emptied, just waiting for the teams coming out. Even the Club Celtic lounge looks quite empty. There's Newcastle fans in the Celtic end. Oh, it's raining. Oh, fucking. It's pissing down. Yeah, the rain's on at Celtic Park. It's pissing down. I think Yamada will be better than Adam Ida. I'm not too sure about that. Just buzzing to get the team. It's pissing down, it is that. Buzzing to see the teams coming out at half time. To see who gets introduced to the fans. Stadium's filling up. I mean, it's nowhere near. Do you know what I mean? It's pushing down. 3-1 Celtic. Here the teams come out. Callum McGregor coming out. Kieran Tierney doesn't get his first walkout onto Celtic Park. Better get the timer bit ready. Just coming out of the pitch. How long is Adam Ida's contract? He's got another 4 years on his contract, I believe. It was not a 5-year contract he was on. He's only 1 year into his contract. Just getting ready for kick-off. Match time, get that. Newcastle obviously walking down, shaking hands with the referees and the Celtic players. Celtic players now shaking hands with the referees and the linesmen who are playing in orange tops. Substitutes: Ben Summers, Aaron Montgomery, Rio Hatate, Ben McPherson, Kyle Urey, James Forrest, Colby Donovan, Kieran Tierney, and the manager's Brendan Rodgers, telling us of the first team substitutes today. Kieran Tierney and someone else getting their pictures taken. I'm just waiting on Newcastle players to come along and get their pictures taken. I take it the Newcastle players are just not partaking in that part of the proceedings. Oh yeah, there it comes. One Newcastle players came over to get their picture taken with the mascots. You see the substitutes coming out of. You think there's a player in Tillio. Oh God, look who the ref is. Oh Jesus. Nick Walsh is referee. Oh my God. Right, we are getting ready for kick-off. Is it me or is Callum McGregor starting to get a wee bit grey hair about him? Oh, they've swapped sides. Those pesky Newcastle. They've swapped sides so that they're playing towards their own fans in the first half. Celtic take to the huddle. Newcastle decide to take to the huddle also. Why is that somebody's got a flag. It looks like a Spanish flag, to be fair. And players now taking their position. It looks like Celtic kicking off, is it? Yep. Luke McCown has the ball. Nick Walsh just about to blow the whistle. Oh yeah, please. And we have kickoff. There we go. Kickoff has commenced. Looking forward to this. And why is the time not shown on the... Oh, it is. It is now. Celtic pass the ball back to Kasper Schmeichel. Oh, Kasper Schmeichel, a wee volley and there's nobody there. Yep. Don't let us down, Kasper. Refs and orange tops. Yeah, tell me about it. Callum McGregor on the ball. Back to Trusty. Trusty back to McGregor. Back to Schmeichel. Come on, Kasper. That was... There's something about Kasper. Celtic are trying to play the ball out for the back, but they've given the ball away to Newcastle. Callum McGregor getting his foot in. Everyone back defending for Celtic. And I tell you one, isn't it going to be an easy game, is it? They're using the full width of the pitch compared to Celtic. Ant and Deck in the jungle. Oh, come on, Celtic. And Amura gives away a corner. They get a corner. We are, 1 minute? I've got my clock's 10 seconds behind. First corner to Newcastle. And I'm not looking forward to this. Ball comes in, Newcastle header, and it's over the bar. That was a free header at the back post though. Well, just out for the back post. Celtic not picking the boy up. Tony Ralston. Do you know, if he gets that on target, I mean, that's a goal all day long. Celtic playing out for the back. Have we not learned from this? And we've just given the ball away trying to play out for the back. What are you doing, Celtic? You've reverted back to the nonsense that we were starting last season. Come on. That's it. Well, now the ball's up at the Newcastle end, but it was the Newcastle player that did put the ball back the way. Celtic have got the ball in the midfield. Callum McGregor switches the ball. Good diagonal ball forward. He's offside. Good diagonal ball to Dyson Maida, but he was offside. Newcastle claim he handled the ball. Oh, my feed's a minute behind. Don't tell me when they score then. Can't he be a minute behind? Two-1 to Celtic. I see now Celtic TV's just froze. Oh, come on. 4 minutes. Yeah, I think I've just updated the TV. No, 4 minutes 20. Oh, you mean full time? Tell you one thing, they're going to use they're getting their wingers right out on the width of the pitch, and I think we'll struggle with that because not having the midfield to stretch out there. I'm on 5 minutes 10 seconds. Diagonal balls again for Newcastle out to the wing. We really need to watch. They're passing it back. Why? Don't do that, Celtic. Now, Kasper Schmeichel's just put pressure on Austin Trusty. We've just lost the ball. But you cannot pass the ball out for the back against top teams like this. Brendan Rodgers has learned nothing. I've got to say, Sinisalo has better distribution than Kasper Schmeichel. This is an argument that's going to take over this season. Who has the better distribution? Is it Sinisalo or is it Kasper Schmeichel? And personally, I think that Sinisalo has a better distribution than Kasper Schmeichel. Now, Kasper needs to get the ball out quick. He gets out to Callum McGregor. Callum McGregor in the midfield with loads of space. Hits it out to Luke McCowan, to Yang, back to McGregor, back to Yang, back to McGregor. Fuck, here we go. Now they're just sitting back, Newcastle. They're sitting back in two flat lines, saying, come on Celtic, break through us. But they do have the pace and the power to try and hit us on the break. That he was never offside. Trusty's worse than Scales. It's the best of the worst bad two, isn't it? There's definitely something missing with when we don't have Alistair Johnston playing, when we don't have Kuhn, when we had them at the beginning of the last season, the togetherness that they had for getting up and down the wings was just immense. Newcastle are stretching the game, completely stretching the game, and Celtic are coming out now. Arnie Engels has just flicked the ball forward to Dyson, but Dyson's missed it. Dyson gets the ball back. Pass to Luke McCowan. Yang's got the ball and he loses it to a Newcastle player. Tries to take on the Newcastle player and loses it. We're putting pressure on them, but we're just not good enough. I mean, this is their second string. You need to remember that as well. We are starting to pass the ball a bit. This is Inamura. Come on, mate. I thought you were good at... Inamura seems to be not want to go as forward as much. Arnie Engels playing the sort of holding midfield role when Callum McGregor goes further forward. Celtic getting pulled up as offside again by Yang, which is difficult, but just change the name of the video. Celtic pushing up. They have got 4 players pushing up front, which is the way that Brendan Rodgers wants them playing. Obviously with a single striker and then the 3 midfield guys, your 2 wingers and your midfield player pushing up to give you the 4. But then everyone's out of position. Everyone is out of position. I'm going to put it on pause during half time anyway. Thank you. It's got to be half Begbie. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's a scran that you didn't get at Celtic Park, isn't it? There's the Doug just come in. Celtic trying to put pressure on Newcastle, but we're good enough and we'll beat them. I mean, they're quite a tall team. A lot of the Newcastle players are tall, typical English team. But they are going to take us for 60s and 70s down the width of the pitch. They've got 2 players on each wing. Obviously a midfield player and a winger, or the wing backs, and they're pushing right up. So they could outdo Celtic quite easily. And they are closing us down really quick. I mean, there's Callum McGregor back in the box. Back to Trusty, who's back to the keeper again. Keeper needs to get rid of this quick. It's too obvious with Casper. Casper tries to put the ball out to Yang, and Yang's never getting to the ball. Johnny Kenny's having to do a lot of running. Come on. I mean, Luke McCown saying it should have been a free kick Celtic way there. They won the Carabao Cup. Liverpool were dug meat. I can see why they won it, but I'm sorry, but Casper's done it again. He's kicking the ball out, and he's not finding the players. There's Newcastle. I mean, can Dyson get to that? No. There will be a lot of fans will start to question this season, I think, the whole Kasper Schmeichel, Sinisalo thing, because although Kasper is a top keeper, some of the decisions that Kasper makes, it's Sinisalo just brings more to the game. And you're thinking, do you know, will he get some game time in the second half to just show? I hope he does. I hope Sinisalo's on in the second half and he shows Brendan, because you'll get that real comparison. Celtic are starting to hit the sides of the pitches a little bit more. Yang tried to do an overrun there, but Johnny Kenny back to Callum McGregor, back to the Bricky who's in midfield. They're sitting back in 2 lines. Here's Yang. Come on, Yang, get a decent ball off. For fuck's sake, Johnny Kenny doesn't add him either. Was that Johnny Kenny? Who was it? Or was it Arne Engels? We'll see here. Yang gets the ball in first time. That was Arne Engels. Arne Engels doesn't add him either. Chances like that you've got to take. Anyway, Luke McCown's coming in with the corner. Back post. Jesus, that was poor. That was poor by Johnny Kenny. I mean, back post, you're expecting him to header that in. He gets the header and he misses it altogether. If you want to improve to the manager that you're a prolific striker of the ball, you want to at least header that onto the target. I mean, he headers it and it goes right down to the ground in front of him. Newcastle are really wide apart, the players. I mean, that diagonal ball, see how he puts it out. Trust in Adam Engels signings, so you can understand why the board want to don't spend money. Yang's fast, but why is Ralston passing the ball away back to the keeper there? And what is he doing again? What is the keeper doing? Jesus. We're giving the ball away too easy. We are giving the ball way too easy in our own half. Yeah, tell me about it. See, if you look at the positioning that Newcastle play when Celtic have the ball in front of them, they go into two flat back lines, right? Parallel with each other. Celtic don't do that. Celtic are kind of a mismatch. We need a big season out of Engels. Yeah, we do. We need a massive season out of Arne Engels. Massive season out of Arne Engels. I mean, Trusty puts that out for a header. Let's see this. It's another corner for Newcastle. Another one to the back post that Newcastle get. Oh my God. That was almost like the goal that Dunfermline scored against Celtic to stop us that week in Dunfermline. But we won the league the next week. I thought that was about to go in and leave Casper stranded. Tony Ralston's running down. Diagonal ball for Tony Ralston. Does he find Dyson Maida? Just peters out to absolutely nothing. Inamura gets the ball. Gives it to Luke McCowan. Back to Inamura. Come on, Inamura. Get it in. Oh. This isn't what I was expecting. Fans need to stop whining about Engels and Ida. They do, don't they? Because they're two Celtic players. They're going to be here next season. They're not going to be sold. Casper's starting to... Remember when Joe Hart would give us the... Oh, come on, you've just lost the ball again by playing like that. Losing the ball in our own half far too easily. Far too easily. They've got a player in the 67. This channel was a food channel. Whoa. It is. It is the food channel. Get over it. It's called the Celtic food channel. What am I eating? Olives. Green olives. You've got some guys in the Green Brigade section trying to pretend that they're the Green Brigade. I'll tell you one thing, that attempt at goal for Newcastle was woeful. Come on, that's a full... Eisen should have stayed down there. Nearly an own goal. Food for thought, channel. Nearly an own goal. Oh, what's this guy doing? What's he holding his hand for? His face. Fuck off. The guy that dies in Maida was taken out by and stays down holding his face. Now, this is what I hate about English football. They started to play like European stuff, man, honestly. That would have been fantastic if they had scored an own goal. Right, Johnny Kenny, come on, this is your time. Header into the back of the net. Liam, it was a bit of a wonder save, wasn't it? It was a good save by the keeper. I mean, what's that guy holding his face for? He was almost getting back up and then he holds his face. Kasper Schmeichel makes that save and you're like, poof, cracking save. Is this... no, it's not. It's the second corner. Second corner by Celtic. Luke McCowan's on corners. Which is weird because Arnie Engels is usually the corner taker. There's maybe a change for this season. Oh, it's a short corner. Out to Kalmak. Back out to Yang. Yang's got the ball. Bricky's got the ball. I mean, we need to... Yang's... Come on, Yang. Do something. Take a player on, Yang. That was a waste of a corner. I mean, we're still in their half, but it was a waste of a corner. Now, we've reverted to playing side-to-side stuff. Oh, come on, Celtic. It's pre-season. I thought we were going to knock out the side-to-side stuff. Is that a decent ball? The height that the players have got in the Newcastle team. I mean, Johnny Kenny's he's tall, but we're outdone by height again. Interesting fact that there slight shortage of olive due to the weather patterns in Europe. No, there's not. There isn't in Spain anyway. Square sausage Mick. There isn't on the olives on my cheese, that's for certain. Newcastle in the press. Celtic all over the place. People out of position. Johnny Kenny's trying to get back and defend. Celtic. Is there? It'll be because the Italians. Spain grows more olives than anybody, and because if the Italians have had a bad thingy, they tend to make the most noise about it. But there you go. But it's definitely not weather related in this region. It's been bumper crops. Oh, come on, Celtic. They're just... I suppose we need to get used to this because this is kind of the thing that was going to happen to us in the Champions League again. But I just think that the formation that we play... Come on, Trusty. You're out of position now. Oh, save by Kasper Schmeichel. What a save. That was a save. That was a cracking save by Kasper Schmeichel. I'll tell you one thing, because hats off to Kasper for that one. Hats off to him. That's Austin Trusty's fault. I mean, Austin Trusty just kicked it to nobody. He's away to position. Puts Dane Murray under pressure. I mean, the Bricky's no shrinking violent. I think Newcastle have just got a team of 6'4" players. It's done. Give me. Get it. See, go. Tony Ralston, ball back to the keeper. Keeper out to Trusty. Trusty to Callum McGregor. Callum McGregor back to the keeper. Keeper. Casper Schmeichel goes for the long ball. Oh, finds a player. Arne Engels has the ball out to Dyson Maida, far too heavy on the touch. Dyson Maida still manages to retain the ball. Dyson Maida coming in just on the edge of the box. Cross doesn't get in. Engels tries to put a bit of pressure on the Newcastle player, wins the ball back. Come on, Celtic, get in there, get into this mob. Tony Ralston in the middle of the pitch, right in front of their box to Callum McGregor. Callum McGregor back to Trusty. Trusty to big Dane Murray. Dane Murray back to Trusty. Celtic fans will go mental because we're still doing the side-to-side stuff that we thought we were going to get rid of. I thought the whole point of playing a 4-2-3 system was the fact that the defenders wouldn't need to pass it back to each other as much. So that the fact that it would open up spaces. Come on, Nat. Oh, come on, Arne Engels. Is that a penalty? Is that a penalty? Oh, it's a penalty. That's a penalty. Ah, it's a penalty. Are we getting the penalty? Oh, who's taking the penalty? Callum McGregor. Callum McGregor's taking the penalty. Oh, jeez. Callum McGregor's going to take the penalty. No, he's not. He's giving the ball to Arne Engels. Engels is on the penalty. Thank goodness. Yes! Get in there, Arne Engels. 1-0. Come on. Get in there. Come on, you boys in green. Bring it in the back of the net. Go Engels. 11 million down the drain. Arne Engels scores again. You know, you could say all you like about Arne Engels. A lot of people were giving him stick, but he's just stuck the ball in the back of the net once again. Yes. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. Brilliant. Let Baz comment, guys. I prefer his reaction. Absolutely brilliant. Right, this needs to kick up now. Come on, Celtic. Do not give this team any respect at all. Do not give them any respect. They're just another club. You know, they're just another club from another league. Andy won the penalty. Yeah, he did that. Come on, Celtic Park. Make some noise. Trusty back to Inamura, who's the furthest person back. I tell you one thing, Dane Murray looks composed. Bit of a fight in midfield with Johnny Kenny there, losing the ball. It is the reckless side and the inexperienced side of Johnny Kenny when you see him playing like that. It's not top level striker stuff, isn't it? I'm eating my words right now. Only one or two mistakes, but overall playing well. Yeah, we're playing well, but there is one or two bits of the game, you say, yeah, it's pre-season, but Trusty get a block in. Does he keep? No, he lets the ball through. Newcastle number 67 on the edge of the box. Back to the number 2. Cross coming in from Newcastle. Oh, I just want to beat this lot. Come on, Celtic. Hail, hail from Vancouver, says Johnny. Welcome aboard, Johnny. If only Casper could add goals to his game, he'd be some keeper. If only Casper didn't pass it out for the back, there's just that bit of the game that I don't like. It just gives me the nerves. The nerves is just unreal. So the stats so far, Celtic have had 4 shots on target, 4 shots, 1 on target, 1 in the back of the net, and Newcastle have had 5 shots on goal, 1. Possession-wise, Newcastle are sitting on 53% possession as it stands, for Celtic on 47% possession. The pass accuracy, Celtic are just ahead by 1%. Kasper Schmeichel makes a cracking save there. 1% ahead on pass accuracy. That's an easy one. Kasper Schmeichel's saving that all day long, but it's another one where they're getting to the back post. They're getting to the back post quite easily. Too much money is over. This is why I want to beat them. The amount of money that Newcastle have, we need to beat them just to show that league that it's not the best league in the world. I mean, imagine getting pumped by a Farmers League team. Oh, great. Huh? No, I'm fine. Thank you. Tell you one thing. Inamura for 250 grand. Inamura is a decent player. I mean, he's not the answer. He's not the... But the way that he's playing, he's not getting a forward enough for me. I mean, hopefully he can bring that to his game. And he is going to be just back up to Kieran Tierney. He is just going to be back up to Kieran Tierney. So, can he get past players? He's got a good touch. He is running into the middle of the park now. Now he's getting back to the left back position. So I wonder if Brendan Rodgers is going to try and train into him the way that... That's good play by Celtic coming out. Callum McGregor telling Inamura to get further forward. Inamura's like, there's nobody here though. But you had loads of space, Inamura. There was a big wide gap right in front of you. You should have just kept on going forward. Instead he stops and then passes it back the way. And that's the downside of Inamura's game so far. The fact that he does play like that, which is disappointing. Do you know, it is disappointing. But it is what it is. He's 250 grand. What can we really expect? Why are you going sliding in like that, Yang? See, Trusty's been booked. Austin Trusty's been booked. It was a good yellow card to give away, but Yang shouldn't have lost the ball. It's a good one for Trusty, yeah. Kenny's work rate is superior to Adam Ida's. Yeah, I would say so. I would say it's better than Adam Ida's. He brings a lot more to the game. It's where Adam Ida's, Brendan's told him he just wants him to be a 6-yard box type of striker, hasn't he? And I think Johnny Kenny's got he can get back and defend and give you that wee burst of pace. I mean, there's Adam Ida. Come on, Celtic, put a bit of pressure on them. Come on. Luke McCowan should have won that. And now Tony Ralston's way out of position, which is open. Oh, Austin Trusty makes a good blocking. Luke McCowan's getting beat too many times in the midfield. He's just not. It's just. Oh, he did use his upper body strength well there, but it gives away a free kick. Inamura with a good quick ball out. Celtic passing the ball a bit quicker now, and they are trying the odd diagonal ball, which is Callum McGregor does what Callum McGregor did. That was just fantastic. Inamura out to Dyson. Dyson in with a quick ball, but it's too close to the keeper, and the keeper saves it. The 35th minute. Arnie Engels is playing the more holding midfield role beside Callum McGregor. Oh, is it two? Nah. Trusty having a game where he does one thing bad and one thing good. Yeah. That was offside for Dyson anyway. It was offside with Dyson. On the hoops says John. Gary Patterson says Trusty having one of those games where he does one thing good, one thing nice. Trusty's wife must love that. He must. Newcastle manager currently got one of their players over, telling them the script. You're going to get beat, mate. Johnny Briggs, can you get Baz on Coronation Street? As the crap commentator. I'm not here to commentate on the game. Yes, Mick coming into the game. It is interesting that Arnie Engels keeps going for the sort of defensive midfield to pushing slightly further forward on the left hand side. McGregor playing out his skin. Yeah, this is the kind of game that McGregor likes, though, isn't it? It's testing himself against the best. And whatever way you look at it, I mean, Newcastle are a good side going with their league. They are in the Champions League. So it does give us a good test. And the fact that we're 1-0 up, Kasper Schmeichel coming out his box here with another long ball. No, it's a short one. Back to the keeper. Goes Dane Murray, putting us under pressure. Out to Austin Trusty. Austin Trusty tries to get a ball out. Hits it up to Johnny Kenny, who doesn't get the ball. Dyson Maida kind of ricochets off him, but we lose out to Newcastle. And there's a foul given. Celtic back on the ball. Trippers on acid. They're losing their formation a little bit. They're starting to losing their bit of composure, Newcastle. So hopefully we can put a bit more pressure on them so that they're not in the straight two lines that they were defensive wise. Hence the reason that the Newcastle manager must have pulled the boy over and said, look, you're fucking all over the place. Austin Trusty way back. Ball out to Yang. Can Yang make anything happen with the ball here? Yang's coming in at the wing. And oh, Johnny Kenny, come on! Oh, Johnny Kenny. Johnny Kenny completely. I mean, that was a cracking ball in. Johnny Kenny just. I've got to say, there's a player in there in Yang, but Johnny Kenny had to hit the back of the net with that. Completely just missed it. I mean, that should have been us up 2-0. That should have been us up 2-0. Listen, Adam Eder would have missed the exact same ball. Adam Eder wouldn't have scored that either. Adam Eder had an easier shot. I'm nearly sick. Has Kenny been taking lessons from Adam Eder? Yeah. There's one thing, Shin Yamada's meant to be sitting on the touchline going, I'm going to score goals for fun here. I'm going to score goals for fun. Wait till I get my shot here, boss. Sitter by Kenny. Was that a sitter? It was a complete sitter, wasn't it? They can't handle our press. No, they can't. But at the same time, we're not handling theirs very good because they've got 4 players up front as well, putting press on us. So it's an interesting game. You remember, it's not their whole first front. Well, Newcastle fans giving their players a little bit of appreciation just for turning up. Pull Yang at half time, so Norwich give us money. Yeah. Johnny Kenny's got the ball, but he's offside. Kenny getting dangerous positions. He needs better quality finish. Yeah, it's his inexperience. I said that earlier on. Some of the rash challenges that he was making, it was his inexperience in the game, just shining through. But when you look at it, we're playing well. We are playing well. There's a lot of positives to take from the game, considering all the changes to the first team. If this was our first if all our first team players were playing, we would be 2-0 up by now, easily. But then again, if they had all their first team players playing, they might. Newcastle with the ball on the edge of the box. Tony Ralston takes a sore one. Tony Ralston takes a sore one. He's still down. It must have been really sore. That was a tap in. Yeah, it should have been a tap in, really. The Bricky's back up. "41 minutes into the game. How was that saying 35? That stopped. This isn't our best 11. Yeah, I know it's not our best 11, but it's not their best 11 either, so you've got to take it what it is, isn't it? The fact it's not our best 11 gives us hope going into Ralston as the Terminator. Yeah, he is that. Oh no! Good one, good one. Kasper Schmeichel got caught in no man's territory, and the Yamal lookalike for Newcastle can't get past Trusty. Some pace, that boy. Like, what was Kasper Schmeichel thinking? Schmeichel slow, yeah. There's going to be a big debate this season as they come in with another corner. Let's get this done and dusted first. There's going to be a big debate this season. Who is the better keeper? Is it Kasper Schmeichel or is it Sinisalo? And I think if Sinisalo gets a run in cup games and performs really well in cup games, it will give the manager something to think about. There's the cross coming in for the corner. And the ball went straight out. Imagine hitting the ball out for a corner. Hitting the ball out for a corner. Unbelievable. I've just noticed that this live has done over 12,000 people live. Wow. But as the board can see, we easily need a top flight striker. Yep. Yeah, we do. But I'm not going to get overly concerned about it as yet because there's a lot of other positions that we need to fill. Sinisalo for me, that confirms me for Sinisalo as our number one. It is going to be an interesting one, Schmeichel. I think that'll be a conversation that will split fans over the season. Kasper Schmeichel rightly has the number one shirt due to experience, but from what we've seen of Sinisalo, he's a brilliant player in his own right. It's a cracking ball, but it doesn't get to anybody. It's only a cracking ball if it gets to the player, isn't it? Put Ying on for Yang, Shin on for Fiend. Oh, jeez. Unbelievable. Callum McGregor showing his quality in this game as well. You know, there's always been big question marks over Callum, but the fact that he played beside a certain English player when he was on loan down in England all those years ago, and he obviously went on to fantastic amounts of money before Callum stayed at Celtic and became Celtic captain and won lots of trophies. But there's also been the talk: is Callum, would he really be up there as one of the top? Oh, come on, Johnny Kenny, get in the back of the net! Yes! Yes! Come on! Get in! Yes! Get in, Johnny Kenny! Get in there! What a goal! What the fuck? My God. Unbelievable. Ball straight out for Kasper Schmeichel. Route 1. Right down to Johnny Kenny. Their keeper misses it. And it's in the back of the net. Johnny Kenny catches the offside trap. Keeper tries to jump up and head of the ball. Misses it completely. Johnny Kenny side foots it in an empty net. Absolutely fantastic. Johnny Kenny. Brilliant. 2-0. 2-0 to Celtic. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. I'm off to a Newcastle watch along. Oh man. I'm absolutely soaking. It's roasting in here. Celtic putting pressure, deep pressure on Johnny Kenny. As on 46 minutes. And just at extra time, the whistle will go anytime soon. That's it. It's half time. It is half time. Celtic are currently 2-0 up. And let me just do the match. That is Celtic 2, Newcastle United 0, half time. And I'll tell you one thing. It's been some games so far. A little bit nervous for Celtic at the beginning, but Celtic making moves and getting the goal through a penalty. Penalty that was put in the back of the net by Arne Engels. Arne Engels getting the penalty, putting it in the back of the net. Johnny Kenny, route 1. Finally, the big man himself, Sinisalo, looks to be coming on. The big man himself, Kasper Schmeichel, goes route 1, gets it right over the defence onto Johnny Kenny. Johnny Kenny sees the keeper coming out. The keeper jumps up to head the ball. The keeper misses the ball. Johnny Kenny nips round the back of the keeper. Bang into the back of the net. Absolutely friggin' brilliant. Anyway, I'm going to have a 2-minute interval whilst I'll be back shortly. What a first half of football that was, wasn't it? That was something unbelievable. It was done that one down. That was unexpected, to say the least. I don't think many of us thought that we were going in 2-0 up at half time. That is for sure. There's no many predictions had 2-0 for us at half time. I did say that the score would be 2-2. Let's hope that it's not. Howie and Newcastle were so shy. Yeah, it's not their first team, let's remember that. So it is looking good. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. We are in the wrong club, bro. About 4-2. Yeah. And I think it was there was a lot of good. There was a lot of good. Howie wanted Newcastle checkbook. If I was a Newcastle fan, I'd be pissed off. Would you be pissed off because Newcastle were playing a pretty young team against Celtic? Let's be fair. They are playing a young team against Celtic today, so going to be winning. James Beattie, we're going to be winning everything now. Then not at all. Not at all. We still need players in. It's a young Newcastle team. I'm taking nothing from that first half. As the Newcastle players that have been brought in should be of a decent standard and are of a decent standard. But let's not take away anything from the players that are playing on the pitch for Celtic. Kasper Schmeichel made one fantastic kick out to get to Johnny Kenny in the first half. Well, towards the end of the first half there, and we scored from that. Johnny Kenny, you've got to say, he's been putting in a shift and a half once again. So it'll be interesting to see how many changes Brendan Rodgers makes before half time, or will he wait? I noticed that Sinisalo shook hands with Kasper Schmeichel, so it looks like Sinisalo will get the full 45 minutes. This is where it gets interesting, because we'll see the difference compared to the way that Sinisalo plays the ball out. Sinisalo doesn't like playing it out to the back, right along in the back. He doesn't like the defenders right back on the back line and passing it out like that. He likes them a little bit further forward. So it'll be interesting to see if we are correct in what we say, that Sinisalo does play the ball out better and quicker. But then you can't take away from Kasper and his quick thinking. He sees Johnny Kenny playing right on the back of their defence. He sees that their goalkeeper is way out on the edge of his box. So the first thing that he thinks is get a quick ball right over the top of everyone to Johnny Kenny. Johnny Kenny latches onto it. Luckily enough, the Newcastle United keeper jumps up, misses the header, and Johnny Kenny just sneaks around the back of him and puts the ball into the back of net. Absolutely fantastic. So are Bayern and Chelsea. We still need players in no matter the results. Yes, all it does is it gives Brendan Rodgers the upper hand. And there's one way to look at it. Brendan Rodgers could say, yes, we beat a second-rate Newcastle team, but if you want us to automatically qualify for the Champions League, this is the carrot to the stick that Brendan Rodgers has. Get me in better players, and we'll finish top 8 in the league stage phase. That has to be the goal for Brendan Rodgers and Celtic, to finish top 8 in the Champions League. I know it's a hard task, it's a hard ask, but I think we improved such last season that we were a couple of results away from potentially getting into that top 8. Can we do it this season? If the draw is kind to us, you never know. We seemed to like the league phase last year, but hopefully that's what Brendan Rodgers says to the board. Get me in better players and we'll finish top 8 in the league format, which then gives us automatic qualification to the last 16. That then gives you £9.2 million for automatic qualification into the last 16. 9.2 million. The board will sit and look at that and go, do you know what? It could be worth a punt. Spend the money, get the players in that we need to just take us that next level. Whilst these players are doing fantastic, and whilst it is our second string, it's Newcastle's second string, let's not look too deep into it. It's a pre-season friendly game. You know, we beat Man City last season. We beat Chelsea this season. Let's keep that going by beating Newcastle this season in pre-season friendly. I absolutely love it when we get one over the English, to say the least. Absolutely brilliant. Let's jump into the comment section. Mark Ronnie says Kenny Boy will rip teams apart. Teams who actually come at us, very tidy, skillful, fast, works hard, and can do him absolutely. He's a fantastic player for us. Brendan Rodgers did say that get him in 25 yards in front of goal and he could stick the ball away from anywhere. Our starting team cost 22 million. Let's put that into perspective. Our starting team today cost 22 million. The board will be loving this, says David. Yep. Daniel says we looked very vulnerable in possession. I think we looked vulnerable the first 20 minutes of the game. I know where you're coming from, Daniel. It took us about 20 minutes to get a feel for the game, and there's a fear factor with some of these players. They're just seeing the name Newcastle, English Premier League, you know, best league in the world, allegedly, and they're thinking, these players are going to be good. Do you know, it's the Celtic. I don't fucking care how good they are. The Celtic, you're playing for Celtic now, mate, and it's like, we give them a game. We show them that we are no mugs. We show them that we're champions in Scotland for a reason, and we show them that we won the Champions League back in '67 with this exact same work ethos. And I tell you one thing, there's a lot of times that work ethic can outdo class. You can be the best at something, and do you know what? If you've not got the work ethic will win all day long. Do you know? You can be the best players in the world and play in the best league in the world. Be £60 million players. You know, be on 120 grand a week. If you're not prepared to roll your sleeves up, dig in, which Celtic have shown them to be doing, do you know? It's fantastic for us as a club. And it's always good to be 2-0 up against a team from down south. But how long can we carry it on? Can we carry it on into the second half? Well, we'll soon find out, because it will start in just a couple of minutes' time. So there is players out in the park. Liam Scales looks like one of them. Rio Hatate. Are these players doing warm-up, or are they just sort of doing the half-time training and stuff? Yeah, it looks like they're doing half-time training and stuff. So none of them are coming on straight away. Jamesy Forrest. And then all the younger boys. Can't see Kieran Tierney. Will Kieran Tierney come on at half time? And that's Kieran Tierney over in the wing, isn't it? That's Kieran over in the wing. Craig says, afternoon, Adam Ida will always start because Dermot signed him, says Johnny Briggs. Ali Boy says they have one player in there that's worth more than our whole team. Yes, they do. They have more than one. Does this mean we don't need to spend on players as we thought? No, it doesn't. It doesn't stop anything. Del Boy, we still need to spend big money on players. It doesn't matter what you think about the scoreline. All it does is paper over the cracks, and it will give Brendan Rodgers. What it does do as well is it gives Brendan Rodgers that little bit of give with the board and say, you bring in better players for me, and when it comes to the big league, when it comes to us qualifying, we get into qualification, and KT going to come out like the Undertaker. He's going to come out with the hood up. Fucking. Oh dear, that was brilliant. We're good at scoring 4 against English teams. Yeah. Celtic club seats, the Celtic club lounge seats are all empty. Newcastle bringing on looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 players. Kasper Schmeichel's back out. Oh, for fuck's sake. Come on, Brendan. Kasper Schmeichel is back out, so Kasper Schmeichel is not in the second half. Kasper Schmeichel is... Sinisalo is not playing the second half as yet. They are making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 changes. 6 or 7. 2... 7. They are making 7 changes. See how that affects the team. And Newcastle just about to kick off. Facing the Celtic end. They should have checked that because Celtic always like scoring at the Celtic end. And the game kicks off. On the hoops. Now there will be a bit of intensity to the Newcastle game this second half. Because they will want to try and outdo the wrongs as they see it. Oh, the keeper's way out. Is that a change of keeper as well? They are playing a little bit more the way that like the Celtic were playing towards the end of the second half. Keeper kicking the ball out. They are trying to stretch us. Straight away you can see that they're trying to stretch the Celtic team. Oh, come on Celtic, don't lose the ball there. Austin Trusty running back to get the ball. Kicks it all the way back to Kasper Schmeichel. Schmeichel back to Trusty. Trusty with a diagonal ball into midfield. Who was that going for Trusty? Jesus. Yes, Trusty does one absolutely fantastic thing in the first half, and then towards the end of the first half, and then right at the beginning of the second half, he mucks up. I predicted 8-0 Celtic, so still on course to be correct. Am I away for a Turkish? Why would I go for a Turkish? Francis? What changes did we make? None. None. As yet. None as yet. I still think that Kieran Tierney will be brought on himself in the 67th minute. Well, Newcastle fans try to keep the ball. After Johnny Kenny takes a wild shot. Johnny Kenny, who scored a tap-in, who missed a tap-in. Newcastle breaking with the ball right now. Oh, right into their winger. Oh, what a fantastic save. What a fantastic save by Kasper Schmeichel. And we were ripped open there. We were ripped open. I did say they would play with intensity, and they're certainly doing that. But we were ripped open there. Booked up to go to Ajax and then Como in the Cup on Wednesday. With the missus, bless Karma, didn't make the long replay. She won 12.5 grand on the bingo earlier. Go yourself. That's a good one, Craig. It's almost as good as the Paradise Windfall. Schmeichel is number 1. The keeper, the player hits it straight to the keeper, to be fair. When you watch that back, the player hits it straight to the keeper. Yeah, I think they've put a lot of their first team players on the second half. One save does they make them. Nobody's disputing who is and who isn't the number 1 keeper. I never said that. All I said is it will be a debate that will go on during the season. Come on, Trusty. What is he doing? He's on a booking. Is Trusty stupid? Because if Trusty gets sent off, he misses the first game of the season. The stupid rule, because remember that happened a couple of seasons ago. Yeah, they're playing a bit faster and their passing's a bit crisper the second half. But you got to remember that we've 5 first team players to come on as well, so I think it should keep the scoreline the same, which I think is fantastic if it does. Oh, there's another quick ball in. Callum McGregor saves the day. Oh, free kick, come on. No, we have made a change. Is that Benji that's on? No, we've not made any changes. Not made any changes as yet. They brought in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they've brought on 9 different players. So it's basically their first team, by the looks of it. Yeah, they brought in their number 1 goalkeeper. Yeah, they've brought on all their first. They've brought on their first team players. So we'll see how this half pans out. I could see this being a bit meatier this half. Definitely. They do like to get the ball right out to the wing. It does mean that we are quite narrow, but oh, look at that. Come on, Celtic. You cannot let... That was good. We're losing the ball again in our own half too easily. Dane Murray is very composed. Been very, very impressed with Dane Murray. Really composed. Do you know, you would never think that he's a boy that's just came up through the academy. I think I was... Do you know what? I'm not far off with the comparison between the level of him, Dane Murray, and Gustav Lagerbielke, price-wise. I think that if you were going to sell Dane Murray, you'd be looking for 3 to 4 million from him. Celtic on the break. Luke McCowan. Does he have it? He turns it. Oh, come on! Yes! Fucking yes! Yes! Get in there! Yang makes it 3-0. Ah, the cracker! Yang makes it 3-0. Yes! Get in there! Oh, that's it. 19 million for Yang. Yang bang, thank you, man. And that's with our first team on. Bring on. Absolutely brilliant ball for Dyson Maida to see Yang coming in for the back. Absolutely brilliant. Fantastic scoreline. 3-0 Celtic. Yes! That's what you want. Johnny Kenny's stats were impressive first half of the year. They were that. What a brilliant goal. He's as fast as lightning. It's frightening. And his Yang's wife says, la 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 la. Yang needs a song. He cannot be sold, surely. Oh! Newcastle trying to get a goal sneaky in there at the back post, but Tony Ralston just puts the player off. You'll see them come out fighting now. 3-0. 3-0 by the Farmers League players. 3-0 by the Farmers League players, eh? Here come Newcastle again. Ball right in front. Celtic do well. Big Dane Murray. Big Dane Murray. I tell you one thing. Dane Murray's been very impressive. Yes, Niall Celtic are playing fantastic. I'm really impressed with Dane Murray. Get into these goody gums. I love Newcastle Baz, mate, in a pub. They're raging. They're raging. That's what we want to see more of. Yang wants to leave. I know that Yang wants to leave, but if he wants to leave, well, Do you know, we've just added 3 or 4 million. It's Norwich after all. And I wanted to get as much money for him as we can. 12 million for Yang. Yeah, but definitely. When he can score like that, Celtic are not letting Yang go for the cheap. You know, they screwed us over with Adam Ida. If they want Yang, they'll need to pay the cash for it. Kieran Tierney coming on. The moment we have all been waiting for. On the 54th minute, Inamura comes off at Celtic Park. And return of the prodigal son. Kieran Tierney, every Celtic fan, to a man, up off his seat as Kieran Tierney takes to the pitch for the first time at Celtic Park since 2019. Comes on, blesses himself, kisses his armband. He knows he's back. The fans know he's back. He is one of us, back on the pitch. Get in there. Absolutely friggin' amazing. Absolutely brilliant. Kieran Tierney back in. It's just what you want. It is what you want. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. 3-0 up against Newcastle. Great stuff. Kasper Schmeichel kicking the ball out for the back. Trying to get out towards Kieran Tierney. Doesn't get there. Newcastle have the ball in the Celtic half. Kieran Tierney gets his first touch on the ball. The Celtic gets it to Dyson Maida. Dyson Maida on the attack. Kieran Tierney. Tierney overtakes Dyson Maida. Tierney keeping on going. Newcastle player just gets it off him. Celtic are pushing. Ball goes out for a throw with Arne Engels. Arne Engels. Phenomenal stuff this from Celtic when you think about it. When you think of the money that Newcastle have spent, and Newcastle are allegedly the richest team in the world. The English regularly call Celtic a farmers in Scottish football, a farmers league. And I tell you one thing, the Farmers are beating them 3-0 in the Farmers League. Top stadium. Oh, I'm going to have to message the one and only Newcastle fan. I know. Dane Murray again. I tell you one thing, Dane Murray is super composed. Super composed. It's no wonder Brendan Rodgers said, you know what, just get rid of No Rocky and get rid of Lagar Belke. You don't need it. Kieran with the ball. Tries to get an early pass to Dyson. Gets the ball to Dyson. Dyson back to Kieran. Tell Calmack he's got time on the ball. Callum switches it out to Dane Murray. Dane Murray forward. Oh, just unlucky. You can definitely see the intensity side picked up from Newcastle and Celtic, to be fair. The fact that Celtic are 3-0 up against this team, is, for me, is brilliant. It's just fantastic. I think a lot of us had the fear that, you know, it's all the money that they spent, but then again, the big names, the big wages, doesn't always win. And just imagine Celtic Park when Austin Trusty gets gives away a foul. Austin Trusty needs to be very careful because he is on that booking from the first half. We look at the stats so far. Newcastle have had 11 shots on goal. Celtic have had 8 shots on goal. Celtic have got 3 shots on target. Newcastle have got 3 shots on target. But the goals are what stand. Celtic have got the 3 goals in the back of the net. When it comes to passes, Celtic are on 306 passes. Newcastle on 324. Pass accuracy, Celtic are still ahead. Our passing's better than Newcastle's. It's 88% versus 87%. Possession-wise, Newcastle are still winning in possession with 53%, Celtic 47%. But I don't care if they're winning 50. They've got more possession. And it comes to it, we're 3-0 up. Arne Engels penalty, 28th minute. Johnny Kenny, 45th minute, with that tap-in the Kasper Schmeichel, absolutely fantastic ball straight up, and then Yang on the 52nd minute scores from a cracking cross from Daisen Maeda. Ralston smiling. Yeah, exactly. I think we're all smiling. Ralston is Rambo in disguise. I think he is Rambo in disguise, isn't he? He's a player that just does not stop. You know, he gets a lot of slack, but he does it. He does it for Scotland on an ongoing basis. I mean, he's been in the Scotland team consistently over the last couple of years. Some of the younger players coming on, and then James Forrest. They were singing Hung songs. Oh, let them. They're scumbag. They're getting beat 3-0. They can be like Rangers then. They can sing Rangers songs all they want. They can act like Rangers. They could be like Rangers, and they can get beat like Rangers. They're Huns without bus fares. Breaking news: Barcelona prepared 60 million bid for Yang, superstar Yang. Oh, go on, Yang. Been cracker if you'd managed to get that. Oh, see, Yang just passed it to himself, and then he's not there. Eddie Howe laughing. Now we've turned you over. Yep. Now the Rangers in disguise. Right, here come the big changes for Celtic. Benji's coming on. Sinisalo's coming on. Liam Scales is coming on. Oh, don't lose goals now, Celtic. Please, come on. You're not wanting all these changes to have a dramatic effect on the team. We've done fantastically well so far. Yeah, the day since he slapped Neymar. The roasting outside. It's boiling in here. Yeah, Celtic are making wholesale changes now. But they're bringing on James Forrest, who is now Celtic captain. I have a funny feeling this is Brendan's audition for a job after his contract is up, says Gary Patterson. Nah. Do you think so? I think that the Champions League, him doing it in the Champions League would be the bigger thing. If Brendan Rodgers can get Celtic to do anything at all in the Champions League, that's more. That says more than anything with regards to him, if he is looking at leaving Celtic. Let's send them homewards. Never to return. Liam Scales does what Liam Scales does. Gets the ball back to Sinisalo. Sinisalo puts us under a little bit of pressure. Does Sinisalo. Right, voice. Benji gets the ball. Celtic try to play out for the back again. It's our second pre-season game. This is Newcastle's second pre-season game. It's our second pre-season game. Listen, we beat Manchester City last year. We beat Chelsea last year pre-season. So I'll take it all day long. I'll take this all day long. Because when it comes to it as well, I think that we get a team like this in the Champions League and we're going to beat them. There's no such thing as a friendly. Not when you're with Celtic. First game was a friendly closed-door training match, essentially. Well, so was our game that we got beat. The game that we got beat in Portugal was a closed-door training match. We got beat 3-2. Do you know? So you could say our first two pre-season games of the season were just training matches. Of course they were. You know, I'm not taking anything away from this result from these players. Nothing. Don't care where they are in their pre-season. Do you know? It's the fact that we beat them. If they've got multi-million pound players, and remember, they've only had 4 weeks off as well. 4 or 5 weeks off. Do you know, if their quality of player suggests that they are better than us, the price tags of their players suggest they are better than us. So beating that team for me, is absolutely fantastic. Come on, lads, we have them rattled. Yeah, we do have them rattled. They're the richest team in the world, remember. Marco Tilio getting his shirt pulled. It's a big, big half for Marco, considering that he is wanted by the team that sold us Nico Kuhn. Now they'll be thinking, can we turn him into the next Nico Kuhn? I'm taking away from the fact that somebody says an addition for Brendan Rodgers. I don't think it's an addition for Brendan Rodgers. Not a chance. I don't think that clubs look at pre-season games for when they're looking at managers. They look at what they achieve over the course of the season, and they look at what they do in the Champions League. They look what they can do in terms of winning trophies, etc. One Benji. Oh, just behind Adam Ida. Adam Ida! Adam Ida just puts it wide. And it's for the Adidas Cup. It's for another cup. We want to win this cup. Adam Ida tries to hit it with the outside of his boot and just puts it wide. Just puts it wide. Poltown, how many goals can Panathinaikos score? Simon Ireland. Thank you, Simon. I'll tell you one thing, they are not playing as tight. Newcastle are not playing as tight as they were the first half. Another cup incoming. This could be 67 all over again. Oh, could it win every single cup that we go in for? Could it be? Can we dare to dream as Celtic fans? Celtic fans do have a lot of the younger players on in the second half. Big moment for them playing against big players from Newcastle. Newcastle made 8 changes the first half at half time, bringing on all their first team stars. These games matter just for momentum, getting going into the new season. Yes, Newcastle do have another corner. Newcastle player wins it. Sinisalo, easy for him. Sinisalo has the ball, looking for a quick move out. Sinisalo hits the ball out right up the park, and there's no one there. Sinisalo trying to recreate what Kasper Schmeichel did in the first half, but unfortunately Adam Ida was still down in the Celtic box. They seem to be really more spread out. They've changed their formation, Newcastle. Spread the players out further, which is giving Celtic... Look, Adam Ida's got the ball. God, that's a foul. Come on. Yes, free kick. Come on, Celtic. Come on. This is the one we want. And he gets booked. Right, who takes this? Straight ball through to Adam Ida. Adam Ida clicks the ball. Their big defender takes down Adam Ida. Free kick on the edge of the box. Can Celtic score from a free kick just outside the box? It's been a long time. When was the last time that Celtic scored from a direct free kick outside the box? I can't remember one in recent years. It's been a long time, I think, since we last scored from a free kick. Now, who will take this? Will it be Benji? Will it be Paulo Bernardo? Paulo Bernardo is the free kick specialist for his home nation. Will it be Benji? Will it be Paulo Bernardo? Paulo Bernardo. Paulo Bernardo? Benji skyrockets it. Come on. Oh. Benji, man. That's disappointing. Jota Real Madrid, yeah. That was a good few. That was when Ange was here, though. That was what, 3 seasons ago? 4 seasons ago or something. Yeah, it was pish, wasn't it? Want to see more of Paulo Bernardo this season? Yeah, I think a lot of us do. Keeping up a good bit of intensity, Celtic here, which is good. Glad to see. Benji's just on, for fuck's sake. Is people getting up? Oh, unlucky. Benji's supposed to be decent with free kicks. He's no Nakamura. There's a fourth looming. I think it could be a 5-0. What if we absolutely gub? What if we hammer Newcastle? What if we gubbed them like 5-0? Even 3-0's a gubbing. 3-0's a tanking for the Farmers League. Come on, let's... The disrespect that these English show Scottish football, and I don't care if it's pre-season, the disrespect that they show us, and they call us a Farmers League online and everything. We're taking the richest club in the English Premiership and we're currently beating them 3-0. Come on, lads. Lots of changes at the back with Celtic, still playing with the same intensity coming out. Adam Ida's, he's a bit far too far up the pitch for me. 5-0, that would be beautiful, says Simon Island. It would be, wouldn't it? 5-0 would be a statement of intent. As like, take your riches, take your richest, the most richest team in the world, and stick it up your arse. Oh, I stay in Newcastle. Yeah, they down their game all the time. Yeah, they do. It's not just Newcastle though. You go online, you go into any comment when it comes to Celtic, and they do call us Farmers League all the time. Do you know? And that's why I'm making fun of it. It is good to make fun of it because we're giving them a tanking in our backyard. I mean, it may be a bit different if we went down to England and it was. But anyway, I don't care. They're here, and you've got to remember they took great pleasure in the fact that they beat Rangers 2-1 last pre-season. They beat Rangers 2-1 last pre-season, and they took a big thing from that. That was massive to them, and they were like, yeah, Farmers League, we beat fucking Rangers, Farmers League. Wow, we're going to hammer Celtic. We beat Rangers 2-1 last season. Well, Celtic players are like, hold my pint. Oh, wait a minute, I finished it. I'm still going to beat you 3-0. Great stuff. Absolutely fantastic stuff. I will be doing a review show after this. We'll stop this and then we'll do a review show. When Celtic were at Villa, Newcastle, England game, the board will see this result and say we don't need any more signings. I think that you're wrong. I think that they'll look at this and say, ultimately, can we improve? Because the Champions League, the sides will be better in the Champions League. Send the Huns back to Newcastle. I wonder if they're still sitting outside that pub. Where is it? Oh, that one. I got rid of it, didn't I? Deleted it. Ball comes in. Oh, Adam Ida with a header, but he's too high for him and he puts it over the bar in the 73rd minute. 73rd minute, he just puts it over the bar. Need to get Adam Ida a goal. Do need to get Adam Ida a goal. But then again, Johnny Kenny will be sitting going, oh, here we go. Oh! Rio Hatate takes a shot for a way out and the keeper puts it past. Rio Hatate had more time on the ball than he had there. Rio Hatate could have went forward a little bit more, steals the ball off the defender, looks up, thinks he's going to get past the keeper goes down and makes the save. I think he could have just taken it a little bit further forward. He had time. Here comes Benji with the corner for Celtic. Can Celtic score from the corner? The answer is no. And Adam Ida just miskicks it. Adam Ida passing the ball to himself, miskicks it. Celtic playing nice little passing one-touch stuff. Kieran Tierney cross in. Oh! Yes! Come on! Yes! Liam Scales scores! Yes! Come on! Bring it in there! 4-0 Celtic, get in! Your beauty! Absolute screamer! Yes! Big Scales comes in and scores with an upper. Brilliant! Let's get another couple against this mob. Absolutely. Ball in for Kieran Tierney. Scales comes in, smashes it into the back of the net. Brilliant stuff. One touch pass stuff for Celtic. Absolutely brilliant. Some finish. Great stuff. This is what Celtic's all about. This I'm having multiple orgasms. This is what Celtic's all. What a cross for Kieran Tierney. What a cross for Kieran Tierney. Eddie Howe raging. Look at him, face tripping him. Their Yamal lookalikes just been taken off. Celtic have won the Adidas Cup. It's incoming. I'm on the Farmers League. I'm on the Farmers League. Bring it on. Absolutely brilliant stuff. The Irish Maldini. Oh, this is getting better and better by the minute. We're actually getting better. The longer the game plays, we're starting, now that we've got all our first team players on, we're starting to play like, do you know, the Celtic way. Their fans are absolutely raging, singing Manky Mob songs. Getting an absolute scudding. Oh, time for another goal. There is time for another goal. We're on 76 minutes. We want 5. We want 5. We want 5. Oh man, honestly, what a cross for Kieran Tierney. This is why you brought Kieran Tierney back. Do you know what I mean? This is why you brought him back. We might get Howie the sack. Here's hoping we do. Here's hoping that we do. They're just Rangers in disguise. They're that, aren't they? 67, the Farmers League. Oh. In the League of Farmers. Hope this doesn't mean the board are not spending. Nah, the board will know that we still need to spend. But what it is an absolute tanking for the biggest team in the world. The most expensive. They've got more money than anything. And Scales says, here you go. Here's my empty pint glass. I'm away on to score a goal. The Irish Maldini. Absolute brilliant. Go on, Scales. We cannot let a team out. Newcastle got the ball on the edge of the box. Celtic defending in numbers. Down here in Wolverhampton, loving the commentary, thanks. Seth. Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. This is just great stuff for Celtic. Kieran Tierney, that pass, it's like he's never been away. It's like he's never been away. He will give Celtic between 20 and 30 assists this season. Newcastle with a corner. Back post, number 10. With his Rambo headband on. Can't get it past Celtic. And Sinasalo gets the ball. Sinasalo straight out with a quick ball. Can Celtic go on a quick break here? Come on, Celtic. Nearly James Forrest just was a little bit unlucky there. Just a little bit unlucky. I wonder if the Newcastle fans will be kept in for half an hour after the game. Oh, it'd be fantastic if they are locked in by the polos for half an hour after the game. To suffer in silence. Absolute brilliant. Looks like the Green Brigade section's now filled up with people who just want to sing and dance and jump about. I'll tell you one thing, the younger guys that have came on for Celtic today can hold their head high, because I'll tell you one thing, they are showing that they are ready for the first team. They are showing that they're ready for the first team. Pipe and slippers for KT. Welcome back to paradise. Mash stats on the screen. Celtic, the stats. That was too quick, Celtic. I'll give you the stats just now. The stats are Newcastle have had 13 shots on goal. Celtic have had 12 shots on goal. Amazing statistics, this. Celtic have had 5 shots on target. Newcastle have had 4 shots on target. Celtic have 4 goals. Newcastle United have none. And then who cares about anything else? Possession wise, Celtic are on 44% possessions. Newcastle are on 56%. Oh, come on, Benji. Oh, Benji's just been rugby tackled to the ground. Rugby tackled. The Green Brigade never go to any pre-season games. They never go to any pre-season games. They never have done. So it's you know, people going on. They don't generally do pre-season games and testimonials because they go to every single game other than that. So it's safe to say that you aren't worried about the upcoming season without Greg Taylor, Baz. No disrespect to Taylor, of course. You can imagine to see what Tierney brings to. I said that. I always said that Tierney was a better player. He kept Greg Taylor out the Scotland team for so long. The only issue that I've got is that we haven't brought in, and well, has Inamura done enough to tell Brendan Rodgers that I think Brendan Rodgers will still want to go out and get a top quality left back? You know, bringing in a young guy who hasn't played a lot of first team football or professional football due to his age, to then expect him to make the step up into the Champions League very, very rarely works. Hopefully we don't need to use him in the Champions League because that's where you'll use Kieran Tierney. But is he adequate enough for the rigours of Scottish football on an ongoing basis? That'll be Brendan Rodgers' big question. We need a Celtic take over a Newcastle channel like the old days. Simon, we'll do that. We'll do that if they've got a video afterwards. I'm going to finish this video and then I'll have a 2 or 3 minute break and then we'll do a reaction video and then we'll try and do a hackathon. We'll try and find a Newcastle channel and we'll do a hackathon for that. Wee Forest is flying. Wee Forest can go on. There's a bit of me that doesn't want it to be Forest last season, but there's a bit of me that wants it to be his last season and for us to win the treble. Adam, either way out of position. I've got to say, Adam, I can understand why he did that, but yeah, the Newcastle players, you could tell it's pre-season, they're starting to run out of puff, aren't they? Their fitness levels aren't the same as what we are. You could tell that we're a week or so in front of them fitness-wise. A few other players are blown out their arse now. But then again, if you're getting beat 4-0 at Celtic, you're going to be blown out your arse. Sinisalo makes a great save there. It was really a hard shot, but Tillio got smashed. Adam, come on, that's a foul, ref. So Tillio was brought on and then taken off. That tells you that we're weak. Newcastle coming again. Jamesy Forrest takes the player out, right on the edge of the box. Imagine getting taken out by an old man. For a Farmers League. But then again, he went down like a train trying to get a penalty. Watching golf before this, mate. It's been a while, Baz. How you doing, my friend? Doing good, Jimmy boy. Where have you been? Tell you one thing, I'm super chuffed with the way that this video's went today. It's been absolutely brilliant, this live. Absolutely fantastic. Well chuffed with the numbers. thank you to everyone who has watched the video today. Seriously, unbelievable numbers on the channel today. We're going to the Bristol bar afterwards. Right, here come Newcastle United with a free kick from outside the box. This will test Sinisalo. Oh, it's a chip to the back post. No, it was right into Sinisalo's hands. Right into the keeper's hands. Easy. If that's the richest club in the world having a shot, Newcastle have the tractor factory. Well, they're going to get the engine started because it's a long way back. You did say Celtic would score 4. You did that. This has been... I tell you one thing. Come on, Celtic. You're not just taking the piss out of Newcastle. This is brilliant. Celtic are ripping the piss out of Newcastle as we speak. Yes. Ripping the absolute piss out of Newcastle. This is fantastic. Yeah, I've got to say, Paradise Fans, I'm super, super chuffed with the numbers that we've had today. I think that live for games could be a thing for the whole season. Thanks to you guys. Thank you, Seth. In the cabinet, we've got another one incoming. Jamesy Forrest is on the ball. Jamesy Forrest tries to cut inside, gives it to Hatate. Hatate then hits it to Bernardo. Bernardo thinks about giving it to Kieran Tierney, but puts it the other way. Celtic are on the edge of the box. Now we're just... Oh, come on. Just so close to getting in there for a fifth, but Celtic have still got the ball, putting pressure on Newcastle with 5 minutes to go in the game. Oh, Celtic player goes down, and is it Hatate? Yep. Benji has the ball on the wing. Gives it back to Scales. Scales out to... Is that Donovan? I tell you one thing, Celtic looking really comfortable on the ball with 4 minutes to go. Jamesy Forrest goes to take on one Newcastle player and through ball to Adamida, and it's just too far in front. Oh my goodness, can we make it 5? Come on, Celtic, make it 5. 5's alive. Love beating English. Oh man, what a day. What a day this has been. What a day. Newcastle end is emptying Rapid. They know that they have lost. They know. They thought they were going to come to town. Newcastle are on the break. Celtic have got 4 back in a straight line. Defenders are coming back from the midfield. Newcastle tried to get the ball in. Back post, but Kieran Tierney heads the ball. Tell you one thing, Paulo Bernardo's just hit it back up the park. It is back to a Newcastle player. Newcastle on the ball in front of Celtic. Come on, Celtic, just hold on. Hold on. They're never going to score 4 goals, but we want a clean sheet. We want a clean sheet for this one. Newcastle players raging. Absolute raging. We sent them homewards to think again. We are that. Don't even stop in Glasgow, mate. Just get on your bus and just head straight back down that 67. Come on, Celtic. Just about 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. Celtic, blow the fucking whistle. Celtic's still under a bit of pressure, but defending immensely. Don't think they'll ever want 10,000 tickets to come back to Celtic's Square Sausage Mick. You're definitely not. They think they're coming up here to watch them tank us. It's been the other way around. Red 67, no worries. Thank you for watching. It has been. I'm honestly, I'm over the moon with the numbers today. It's been fantastic. It has been a fantastic live. I think you all get a shock when you see the numbers when it's later on. Tomorrow morning, look at the numbers for this live once it sorts itself out. Just been to Newcastle page, they're still clowns saying that it's a meaningless game. Oh, Newcastle fans will be raging at this, secretly raging. This has made my day, I tell you. Completely made my day. Celtic are very calm and defensive. We are that. and even with all the changes that we've had in the second half, we're playing the exact. Oh, look at that! There you go yourself, young man. Come on, yes, get in there. Who was that? Oh my goodness! Celtic are just taking the piss now. That was just unbelievable. Last year's game against the Huns was meaningless to Newcastle, was it? No, they beat Rangers 2-1. They weren't saying it was meaningless then. Adam Idah out of position again. Oh, I'm not going to tell. Can he play extra? 2 minutes of extra time. 2 minutes of extra time is coming. 2 minutes of extra time, Celtic fans. Is there any point? Is there any point giving them 2 minutes of extra time? Not really, is there? Go on yourselves, Scales. What a stop that was. Unbelievable. 4-0 Celtic. Take a screenshot. Screenshot this 4-0 Celtic against them. Absolutely phenomenal. I can't even speak. Can't even speak now. 2 minutes to go. Cross coming in for Newcastle. Oh! What a save by Sinisalo! Yes! What a save! What a save! That was better than the Kasper Schmeichel save. That was unbelievable. Oh, man. What a save, Stephen Johnson. Thank you. Thank you, Stephen. What a save. Enough for a fifth Celtic. Come on, Jamesy Forrest on the wing. Jamesy Forrest. Ball in. Rio Hatate. Come on, Rio. You should have had Jamesy Forrest. Back into James Forrest. Paulo Bernardo. Puts the ball out to Kieran Tierney. Kieran Tierney, can he make another cross in? Yes, he can. Adam Idah! Oh! Fuck. What was he thinking? What was Adam Idah thinking? Oh. What was Adam Idah thinking? Unbelievable. I'm afraid I'm Dunfermline staying in Newcastle in the last 5-6 years. God yourself, you're fun tonight. What was Adam Idah thinking? There, that's it. Game over. Celtic have won. Celtic are the Adidas Championship trophy winners. Yes, Celtic have won. Celtic win the new Adidas trophy, beating. What an unbelievable game. I'm going to have a couple of minutes break, and then we're going to jump back on for a reaction video. Join us back for that in a couple of minutes. Just to let you know, there's been over 16,250 people on this live today. 16,000 folk on the live today. Fantastic. Tiernan's crossing is going to be lethal. It is that. Another trophy for Celtic. That's just unbelievable. What a game. What an absolutely fantastic game. Right, join us in around about 5 minutes time for the Celtic 4 Newcastle United 0 full time reaction video.